You are now listening to the Beardy Bros Podcast.
Watching that because it was so bad.
Yeah,
and it just got worse.
Well, we can. I mean, might as well just get the. I mean, we might as well just get the intro going, get it out of the way, and we'll get into it. So, what's up, bearders and beardettes? I don't know why I've got the peace signs, but welcome back to another episode of the Beardy Bros Podcast. We've got Wookie back again. He's feeling a bit under the weather.
Yeah.
Me and Jim had been like that for the last 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks, and now
Yeah, it's fucked up. 2 weeks.
I'll just say now, disclaimer, you can't catch it from the podcast. So if you're listening, you can't catch it.
I can send it in the mail for you and just mail it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I feel bad because it was like the postal vote thing. So I was sick with the postal vote, and I was like, oh, do I have to lick seal this? So
Oh no!
And it's like, but no, you don't have to lick and seal. It's got a peel slip. So I licked it, and I was like, oh, okay. And I peeled the slip off.
They have also just announced the new Prime Minister of Australia.
Have they?
Yeah.
Wookie.
Wait, should I actually say the name?
You can, whatever. What is it?
Anthony Albanese. It's Labor one.
I'm not surprised.
So
Thank God.
yeah.
I
Get
really
fucking
don't.
Liberals
I
out
really
of there.
don't care for any of them, Liberal
Wait,
or Labor. But
That's not even a fit. What? That's not done, is it?
they're done already.
No, ABC News has confirmed. Has said.
Confirmed
Because that ended at like 6 o'clock, didn't it? They would have tallied it up.
Yeah. So,
Crazy.
we've got a new Prime Minister.
That's good.
We've also got a new case of the
Man.
monkeypox.
Damn it! The taxes aren't going to be easy under Albanese. God
Oh,
damn it!
No.
Oh, those friggin' memes at the billboards with that fucking slogan everywhere and on YouTube, and then there's like the Labour, there's a hole in your bucket, there's a hole in. How many years do we have to listen to that? Like, there's a hole in your bucket, Labour, the Texas. It's like, fuck off! Like,
I
mean, that's just them, like,
how much dollars have they spent pouring into that bucket? Like, they literally got dollars that they've just poured in and it's just literally pouring out. Like,
There's someone making a lot of money right now.
just over having it in bucket with a hole in it, just pouring a bunch of dollar coins.
They're both slandering both sides
Yeah.
because they just want to win. Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
They do whatever it takes to win.
Well, it makes sense, but
I kind of wanted the sex party to win again.
yeah,
Every
That
damn
would have
time.
been fair.
Right?
Yeah, I voted for them.
always.
Did you see the other one, the weed legalization?
Yeah, I voted for
yeah,
weed legalization.
Yeah,
Do it.
Yeah.
I voted for some of that. I was like, yeah, I want some weed
Right.
legalization. Come on,
The
bro.
problem with some of those parties is
Level
they
up.
actually have to be linked with a major party.
Yeah, some
So-
are though.
They
some of
matched
them are,
with Labour
so-
or
Like the
Liberal or
Greens
something like that.
Labor or Liberal,
Or
so you
Greens.
kind
Isn't
of
the
have to.
Greens with Labour or something?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Party?
It's
Something like
so
that. I don't know.
it's kind of like if you're going, oh, I'll go for this funny name and
Still
which
both
is,
goes back to-
legalize marijuana. It just goes back to one or the
Yeah.
other. It's kind of stupid, but
It's
you know.
really
I
what
mean,
it
it's
does,
to give them more because if they get voted, they still get votes. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Pyramid scheme.
they should be more like straight up, just have Labour, Liberal, and the what the fuck the other ones are,
Ah.
the United Party and shit.
Well,
Yeah.
technically they are their third option to some extent, or like One Nation or something like some shit like that.
Yeah,
And it's giving us an illusion of choice, but overall they just
there's only
make-
like two people. you
Vote
pick from.
one,
Yeah, yeah.
Beardy Bros. Next time, vote one, Beardy Bros podcast.
Can you have a couple people in office though?
2 to 3 people.
Could you
in office.
imagine that? Like,
Just us
Damn.
running together, twin running.
you got to move
You
to
could
Canberra
still
for
run.
that.
You can run for your local,
Mm.
and then all you have to do is say, "All right, I run for my local, but I'm going to be independent, but technically I'm still affiliated with Labor or Liberal or whatever."
Yeah, that's
Right.
what it comes down to. So then you vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
We're nice
vote and
enough,
move
right?
on. I really don't care with half of the shit. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just one extra vote. To me, it's like
No,
whatever.
one person doesn't make a difference, really, because
Mm.
like me not voting wouldn't have done a damn thing.
No, it would have still gone the way it would have gone. Kind of thing.
Well, I remember years ago when it was like everyone you knew voted for, like, let's say Labor, and it was then the Liberals won, and you're like, "That's fucking bullshit! It was rigged."
Yeah, because
So-
everyone went Labour. Like,
Yeah.
everyone said that.
It was one of those things, but
yeah.
no one's gonna vote for a guy that likes to tackle 12-year-olds.
Who did that? Who was that?
ScoMo.
I've seen that meme.
All the
Yeah,
shit,
yeah,
all the
it's
shit
like,
he's done, all the different things, like it's just
Well-
hilarious. All the memes.
he shouldn't have got
It
into the
is.
fucking first place.
That's so funny with all these things though nowadays because now like we've had memes have been such a thing for God knows how long now.
It's
Just
like 8
anything is so
years,
easy to meme. Like everything's so easy to
Fucking
meme now.
fuck.
It's just great.
Yeah, but didn't ScoMo just get in because they booted the last guy out?
Yeah.
He just took. So it's,
Basically,
it's
yeah.
not really. Yeah.
Because he was
it-
just next in charge, so he got it straight up.
Yeah, next in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
essentially, that's also been a joke with Australian politics. It doesn't matter who you're going to vote in. Someone else is just going to come along and boot them out and take control anyway.
Yep.
So it's
Yeah, but it
when we
happens
had-
if the person's shit who's in there. So.
That's why I don't worry.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can move on.
But then again, they're on the same party usually, so
Whatever. I don't want to.
I don't
Yeah,
do political. politics.
Australian
but-
politics. This isn't a.
I don't
politics
do it. I just
podcast,
laugh
so
at
fuck
everything.
it.
Right? Yeah, memes.
Oh, I just love it.
Memes.
All the people going around like graffitiing, like putting googly eyes on things and writing like profanity. Watch out, profanity, and just write shit all over
Did you
people's
see?
mustaches.
Did you see Juddy's Instagram story?
No.
I was
what
about
did-
Pauline Hanson. He wants Pauline Hanson.
Oh no.
Something about he
God.
loves a racist redhead or something. I'm like,
Oh, he's just being a smart ass, yeah.
yeah.
He just likes a fish and chips, if you know what I mean.
Oh god. But we might as well get the what we started off talking about before with the Halo thing get out the way. So we finally hit the. There is an article up on the Beardy Bros website. I'll have to put a link to that for sure. I did write out a full kind of thing on
Essay.
that. Little essay, essay.
Because
But
you
yeah,
were reading
so
it to me the whole. I was like,
Yeah. so we finally come to the final episode. Has dropped. It actually kind of redeemed the series, but not enough though at the same time. If that makes sense.
They kind
Like-
of made it.
It
I don't
kind
know.
of they made it work. So how because Jim hasn't watched it. How far have you gotten into the series anyway, Wookie?
Me?
How
I
much
think
have
I
you-
made it into like the 4th episode, and then I wanted to kill myself.
Yep.
Jesus. Is that
And
bad?
then I realized it was just a TV show, and I shouldn't take it that seriously.
I've been really tempted to
because it's not
curate.
canon.
No,
It's not canon.
I've been very
Um,
tempted to curate like the show and like make because you could definitely get the content that's there and
Yeah.
cut out stuff that doesn't need to be there and actually make it canon. You could literally do that just about with everything that
Well,
they've done. Like
yeah,
they've
you
got stuff
could do a
there, but then
Complete
they've
recut.
twisted it.
You could
Not a-
you could totally do a recut, like do a
Just-
Zack
just a
Snyder
Snyder cut,
version
Yeah,
of Halo, and make it bearable.
and I'm really
Um,
tempted to do that. 'Cause they're only
Bungie
like
cut, man.
40-something minute long videos, and I've been doing a lot of editing lately, and I'm really tempted to just
Bungie cut.
get the episodes
Yeah.
and then just recut everything how because I know Halo, like I'm a big Halo fan, like and cut it how I can because there are like people at first were saying when it did come out that there was like they weren't following the source material and stuff, and then they kind of had been,
Yeah.
but they twisted a lot of it.
Getting bits of sauce. That's about it.
Yeah, and
Yeah, they
like
chose
for
what
filler.
looked good even without context. It's yeah.
But this final episode definitely was a big redemption because it's basically just video game moment after video game moment after video game moment, basically. It's just action, 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 and it's fucking non-stop, basically, action. It's like
Wait,
super
from
badass. Hey?
From when? Because I remember there was only action in the first episode,
Yeah, that's
and when I
what
made it to
yeah.
like
That's what I'm saying, the last episode is just like boom, 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 like
Oh,
crazy.
okay. So basically, you could just cut the first
Did you-
episode
Yeah.
and the last,
And then maybe
episode
some
just
stuff
throw-
out of in between, like get a few little bits and pieces, and then get the
Yeah,
final episode,
yeah,
and then boom
And the-
together.
So
I could actually
essentially,
get
you
like
could
2
make-
hours.
Show.
You could, maybe an hour and a half content, like get an hour and a half
Oh.
out of the whole series and make like a movie out of it, and just that you'd
Oh,
have that.
okay. So essentially, just watching forward unto dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is what they should have done in the first place.
So
So yeah, I heavily disagree with that Halo TV series. I should probably just go back and watch like up till now, and it might change my mind. But
yeah, I mean you could watch maybe the last 2, but just this last episode, episode 9, you'd be fine. You could watch the first episode and the last episode, you'd be fine.
oh, okay. So essentially, 5% of this.
I mean, well, there are a few
10%.
moments that kind of make sense. So I'm still tempted. Like I said, I'm actually very tempted to give myself the project now and recut the show. I might do that.
Master Chief has a face now. Like,
And
that's
just
still
correlate it
fucked.
to my friends. Just like, here, watch this. Here's a hypercut hour and a half long
Master
video.
Chief was meant to be the
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
Like,
If it was done that.
So basically, to cut it down. So episode 9, if you're fine with spoilers, because I can kind of get into spoilers. I don't think many people really care too much.
I know about the sex scene.
So it's
That's
episode,
all
whatever,
know
I think it
about
was
the
8
sex
had the sex scene. So yeah, Master Chief got laid. Because he found a connection with her, got laid there. Kind of had the weird connection because they changed everything. They got rid of his kind of luck concept, and it was more that he was connected with like the Force kind of thing. I guess how they made it. Like,
so this is like midichlorians, but for Halo.
yeah, because it was him and her had this connection to the
Get out.
To
thing.
the Star
Just
Wars
get out. No,
multiverse,
we're not
bro.
going to talk about this anymore. Just get out. I just no.
So it's really fucking dumb. But with 9, the moments they had, they actually showed proper Halo moments where the Pelican is like way up in the sky, like, you know, super high, and he just jumps out and he's fucking bam, lands. No damage taken, like Halo moments, like fighting the brutes. We see one of the Spartans jump out when they're falling and they're landing. You see in the games where the grunts are sitting there and they're sleeping and they're like they had that moment. One of the Spartans comes down when they're landing and actually squishes the grunt when she lands. Just fucking lands straight on the grunt and just blood everywhere.
But
and
yet
then,
again, this is probably only about 15%.
yes,
Of
exactly.
the entire series, and they should have just kept with that part.
Yep.
And everything else should have just been cut out. So basically, they wasted a whole lot of money, and the people working on it
First
should have
episode,
just
last
been
episode, all the money.
lined up
In
and
those two.
told individually that their ideas suck and they should never work on anything ever again. And possibly something else, but I don't want to kind of get you guys banned. This isn't 1942, is it?
Oh. I know where that was going then. Fuck.
Jesus.
But I'm just saying, because I'm
I mean,
a
you can
huge
just
Halo
say
fan.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if realistically this is only the good shit is only about 15% of the entire series of how many hours, and that's a lot of shifting through shit.
Because episode 7 was complete garbage. Like episode 7 didn't need to exist at all. Like that whole episode 7, like watching, like being sci-fi, like from a sci-fi perspective, I can understand the episodes. And like being like if I was watching Star Trek or like something, you know, watching typical sci-fi like Andromeda, like I can understand those moments in those episodes. Like from a sci-fi TV show perspective, I can understand those moments they had. But from a Halo fan to a Halo perspective, I'm like, that's garbage. That doesn't need. Like, why are we getting this filler crap? It doesn't need to have filler stories. It's about John. It's about Master Chief. That's what this story is. Why are we getting too much detail in the other characters? And episode 7 alone was about Quan Hei and Soren. The whole episode, like, it was great. It was fun from a sci-fi perspective. From a Halo perspective, okay, kind of fits in, but it didn't need to be there. It didn't need to be a part of the episode.
I know exactly what you're saying because I watched the Angry review and he said, I agree with it. Where if this was a normal sci-fi series that didn't have the Halo name slapped onto it, it would have been fine. You would have went, okay, this is a decent sci-fi. But the fact that it was slapped on the Halo name and there's only about 15% of actual usable context that actually was true to Halo. Everything else can be shoveled like the pile of shit that it is and thrown out the window while still remaining a solid, shiny turd that should have been presented to people, not the rest of the shit.
There was a reason there was a show that the show wasn't made originally. Like, you just can't.
Yeah. Well, you can. Because it has been done.
Well, it was originally meant to be under, like, it was, because Weta still helped out on this. It was originally meant to be under Weta, and it was meant to be under Neil Blomkamp. He was meant to do it, but he ended up getting shafted with the whole idea, and he ended up doing District 9 instead.
Yeah,
and then you can see, and then you see the stuff, the influences that he had planned to do appear in District 9, Elysium, and what was that other one he did? Fuck, I forgot the name.
What thing? Super 8.
There was another movie.
Chappie.
Chappie, that's it. And like you saw all those elements, so you can see the stuff that he wanted to do for Halo, he ended up redoing those ideas in these movies, and you could see them.
Yeah.
Like, you saw that glimpse of that Halo, like, ship. Like, there was a Halo ring. Like, he emphasized and referenced it because they had the ideas, and they showed the super soldier stuff, and, like, they had all these samples, and it was great.
Yeah.
But then...
They should have just used... Like, they could have made it canon. By actually making it canon, that means they can increase the sales for everything else, because it's all under one umbrella. Kind of like, I don't know, maybe like Star Wars or like Star Trek or whatever.
Yeah.
Putting it all under that same kind of being consistent with the canon actually is more profitable than rather just throwing in random shit and see what actually sticks to the wall.
Because look at Star Trek, that has new stuff which is canon to the old stuff, and
yeah, exactly.
Like the Picard series and like all the other series they've done like before. But one moment I'll tell you now because it's kind of going to irk you a little bit, but then at least gets it away when it happens in the episode because it is kind of cool what happens. So there is the whole battle scene. We do see John being like the Master Chief we kind of know a bit, where he's fighting and he's like really like putting, you know, where he kind of like if you ever remember, he's like the young school kid. So it's kind of like the Captain America experience where he's like, I'm not going to take this shit kind of thing. We do kind of get that moment from Master Chief because that was always emphasized.
In games though, he just does his thing.
Well, in the books and stuff, they emphasize that a fair bit, and the games try to show the best they can.
Yeah, but not everyone read the books, though. That's the thing. Everyone just knows the game.
It is the downside, but being lore-based, if you follow the full franchise...
They're more interactive.
You get that lore, so you kind of see those moments where he starts fighting everything, but he's not hitting that badass game retrospect that we know and love, like, say, coming back to us, we're going to come back to you with the game, where... That whole badass thing that we know, where he's like super
Chief
cool.
is a badass. That's the thing.
So,
like he saves planets by himself, or rings and by himself.
Like, that's the weird part that happens. So we see John Master Chief. So how I'm referring to as John Master Chief at the moment. So you see him kind of doing stuff, but he's not hitting that full mark. And there's a point where he's been given a choice to try and, like, he's like, I need to try and, he goes, I want to save everything. I want to save my team. I want to get the artifact away from the Covenant. And he's trying to do everything, and he's like, but he can't do it because he surrenders his body. He, quote unquote, I guess, dies, or not necessarily cardiac arrest because the body still needs to go, but he kind of like drops his mind out of consciousness. It goes into a coma. Cortana then takes over his body, which is weird because that's what Halsey was in the series. They're scripted that Cortana was designed by Halsey to take over John's body to become the ultimate super soldier. And in retrospect of that happening, of Cortana taking over the Chief's body, we literally get Master Chief from the games. As soon as Cortana, which is a stupid way of doing it.
Games at all, though,
no, that's exactly it, which is the problem. Like, it's broken. You got Cortana taking over his body, but then now we're actually getting the Chief that we we gotten from the get-go. That should have been John.
Can we move on because this is breaking me?
So that's what I mean. So what we end up getting is we get the silent character. He's not talking, but then you see him. You see him like in instances. The combat sequence once Cortana takes over is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, but that's Chief originally, like...
Exactly, so it is a fucking beautiful sequence. You see him dual-wielding, you see him just going bam, 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 like shooting fucking everywhere. Like doing fucking crab grenades, throwing it, like... We finally get a proper Chief moment, but they fuck it up by having Cortana take over his body.
I mean, like, that director knows fuck all because that never happened. Like,
and then segue from that to us to get out of that, on Twitter, Halo co-creator... Halo guy.
Kratos.
I just want to get away from this now.
Is Kratos in there now?
in Fortnite, yes. So to get away from this, Halo co-creator Marcus Leto replied to someone's tweet on Twitter and said, "Yeah, I'm not sure where the inspiration for the show comes from now," but then he goes, "Not the Halo I made."
Exactly, because it's not. It's
exactly.
So, and that's the fucked up. Like, we're getting the moments we should have been getting, but they've done them the wrong fucking way. And it's just like, you're like, it's like you're so close. It's like when you're doing something, you see that person doing the right thing. It's like, you've nearly got it, and then they fuck it up. Like, they're doing the wrong thing. It's like, you nearly had that. Like,
they've fucked Master Chief in that episode, really. Like,
So
They
it's
ruined that season because I thought Master Chief was Master Chief from
Yeah.
episode 1, but apparently it's Master Chief at the end, but it's really Cortana.
Cortana. Yeah, it's just like you were so close to doing the right thing, and it's just like
I'm not watching. I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
telling people
I'm not
fucking
going to watch it. I'm.
Oh,
You
man.
know what you just
What have they-
explained just then. You've
So
explained.
what I want to do is I want to hypercut that moment where I want to cut the moment where Chief said down and out. Cut out the moment where Cortana takes over his body, so then it looks like Chief's just down and out, and then he's like, "Whoa!" Like he gets his second win. He's just like, "Bam, bam, 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 bam,
It's
bam."
like a Super Saiyan.
And then and then just take out that Cortana moment. So then it looks like John's like down and out, and he's struggling. He's like, "Fuck." And then just be like, "No," like he gets that second
But
win,
still, that's
stands
not-
up, and just starts
That's not
shooting everything.
Master
Like,
Chief either.
nah, that's Chief. The second wind.
No, he doesn't really go down though. Really, when you think about it.
It's weird though because what it actually felt like, the weird part too, how I kind of interpreted my first brain responded to was like, wait, did Master Chief just respawn at a checkpoint? So when that moment happened, like, wait, did they just do video game moment and he respawned at a checkpoint?
You can't respawn in a TV show.
No.
too.
I know, but that's what my brain responded to, and that's what it felt like. The moment felt like was like oh no, we failed at the mission. Let's reload checkpoint.
That's the only way they could actually recover from the TV show is just they just
They
just
threw all
die
logic out the
and then they
window,
just-
and
That's what I'm saying. So I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
really tempted to do a hypercut edit. And
what you've
edit this
explained
myself.
of the series so far is essentially your ultimate explanation was you just described a very nice looking turd.
Yeah.
And you've just said, "Oh, this is a nice looking turd." You know, it's like you've just taken a massive shit.
Yep.
And you've looked back and you went, "That's a pretty nice turd." But overall, it's still a piece of shit.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's pretty much. And like, if I wanted the action, I'll just go play the game.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that type
if you
of
want the
sci-fi
story,
action.
play the game.
And the worst
Yeah,
problem
if you
I
want
hate the
story,
most,
don't go to the
what I'm
cinema.
going to hate the most before we move on is there's going to be new fans that don't know the lore that are going to
they're
watch
gonna be
this,
saying shit that's not real.
and it's just going to be like, no, that's not how it fucking happened. Not at all.
But all I'm going to say is the same type of fans that are going to turn around and say, "Oh, that's Master Chief from Fortnite." And you know what you do
It
with
is
those
now.
type of fans, right? I'm not insinuating violence.
Get Master Chief's name out your fucking mouth!
Exactly. Just slap them on the face while they're up on stage.
Get my Master Chief's name out your fucking mouth!
That's
Okay.
essentially probably the line. Oh my god, you could totally do a shirt like that. You could probably just
Master Chief
creators
slapping a
of Halo-
director?
Yeah. Or just like the creators of Halo TV series and just someone just come up and
That's
slap
what I
him
say to
in the
people,
face.
like, Master Chief from the video games would whoop Master Chief from the TV show's ass.
Yeah.
He would
Just-
whoop his
Just
ass.
think, bro. There's gonna be competition. Who's gonna watch what? Halo Season 2 or Last of Us show that comes out starting next year?
Oh, I'm
That's gonna
actually
be a no
keen.
competition.
I'm actually keen for that. I was never
Like,
keen
they've
for Halo.
taken-
Once I heard
They've got the proper fucking way to do it,
it. Mhm.
with Sony, of course.
Yeah.
And they're using their developers who wrote the games to do the fucking show
Mm.
how they want it to. Like,
Yeah.
no offense to.
In the
343,
last couple
but-
of years, I think Halo has kind of gone downhill.
Yeah,
343.
Like,
Ever since
since Halo 4,
Yeah.
bro.
And I thoroughly enjoyed playing, the Halo collection.
Mm.
The one that just recently came out on PC.
Mm.
The Halo, it was fantastic. It was great. Like I played, the Fall of Reach. That was
Yes.
so
That game's
emotionally-
amazing.
so
Probably
amazing.
the best
Exactly.
Halo game.
Like playing it all chronologically. But
Mm.
if they ever try to throw in the TV series in the mix from now, I'm just
I
going to
don't think they
ignore it
can.
and
No.
just play this bit. And yet again, if the same fans that are probably watching this in the new series and actually enjoying it, those type of people are probably the same people that go, "Oh, that's Master Chief from Fortnite." And yes, those people probably do expect to get a slap in the face because they're just
Anyone
Yeah.
that says anything, anyone that says, "Oh my God, it's that from Fortnite," deserves a slap in the face.
Yeah.
yeah. It's just we'll hold them down and just just yeah.
I just don't get why that needed a show though. Like it didn't need anything. It just needed the movie that they made, and that's it.
Oh, they've done shows before, but the shows have always been more or less to promote the games.
Yeah, but
for where the
they're done
narratives are
by
going.
fans, not someone who never played or read Halo. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were done in
why
narrative
they get
properly.
a fucking director on that who's never touched a Halo product?
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah,
let's not go down that rabbit hole. I think. Any
Yeah,
further.
no, it's those people
Yeah,
that
you said
just
not
like
to do it, and we've done it for the
I-
last like half hour.
No, not too long. But let's.
Yeah,
Long, nice and sweet.
long
a
enough.
long time.
We've talked about Halo, the series, long enough, more than we should.
About 10
And if-
minutes.
Yeah, well, that's all it deserves.
Yeah.
It
So
just deserves its shit.
That's
Move on.
all. That's
Oh,
all
we'll
the
move
energy
on.
it deserves.
we'll move on to something that sounds a little bit more cooler and crazier. So keeping the
but
way of
first-
TV shows, what do you got?
I do have a passing that happened yesterday.
Oh, okay. What was it?
The original score, the person who did the score for Blade Runner and other
Oh, yep.
movies and that,
Yeah,
he passed. Vangelis? Or
He was a
Vangelis?
pretty old. Wasn't he old now? 'Cause-
79.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Damn.
to say his name though.
Yeah, one of those original movie composers. He did a lot of movies.
Yeah, like Blade Runner. Some I don't know the rest of them, but
He did a fair
pretty
bit.
damn good.
He had a fair record under his belt.
Yeah, I just condolences to family and friends.
Mm.
But damn, man,
Crazy.
I keep seeing someone every fucking week.
That's a bit bad coming off the back end of Halo. Sorry, guys.
Why?
Coming off the back end of Halo.
Yeah, well, that's what Halo should do.
But speaking of TV shows, sticking in the line of TV shows, so there's some reports of how long these episodes are. So we've got Stranger Things season 4 coming soon, around the corner. So I don't know if you've heard about it,
the
but
final season.
it's the final season. But
Haven't
so there's a report saying that some of these episodes are running as long as 2 hours.
2.5, isn't it, for one
Oh,
of the
that's
last episode?
Because
9.
the report, they said the example saying that episodes ran longer than the Adam Project, which runs for 1 hour and 45 minutes. And they also exampled Free Guy, which, ironically enough, why are these two referencing two Ryan Reynolds projects? I don't know why.
Is it to promote the Ryan
one-
Reynolds projects that are
One's
both on?
Netflix.
I know, is Ryan Reynolds appearing in Stranger Things? Like,
It
what?
would be awesome if you did.
He ends up being the bad guy.
Yeah, he ends up being the bad guy.
But yeah, and they said like Free Guy, because Free Guys ran for 1 hour and 55 minutes, and apparently episodes are longer than both of those. Like, for example,
That's crazy, man.
Well,
that's crazy.
It's also in
Stranger
2
Things-
volumes. You get volume 1, volume 2 later in the year. So
Like that's
I
gonna be
guess
pretty
that's
good
why.
though.
Yeah, I did hear the villain for the new Stranger Things. Apparently, they're gonna be 90% practical effects.
I saw that. That looked that
nice.
Yeah, which is
That's
going to
gonna be
be
good.
like back to 80s type of horror kind of,
Mhm.
because it was all practical effects back then.
wasn't Stranger
that-
Things mostly practical anyway?
Imagine if
apart from
yeah,
some
but-
things.
Imagine
A
if,
lot
we
of-
had,
yeah.
imagine if we had Sam Raimi direct Stranger Things.
Oh man,
Not really a horror, is it?
Sam Raimi
Yeah.
did. Recently was
Would be good.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
No, I mean like Stranger Things. Not really a horror. is
Yeah.
it? It's more of a drama-y.
Yeah,
No, it's
kind
horror.
of. It's
Yeah, but not
Yeah, kind of
Raimi
a
horror.
horror.
Jesus.
Oh,
Remy horror would be like
it'd be a bit next. It'll be a
decapitation.
next step up. That's what I'm saying. Though, it'd be a
Yeah.
nice next step up. It would be cool if you did something like that.
I don't think it. No, because that's catered to everyone, isn't it? Fucking Stranger
No,
Things, like kids,
not
adults.
really. It's pretty violent. It can be pretty
Yeah,
violent.
and it's the 80s throwback of Stranger Things, and I think it's
Mhm.
coming up to like,
That's why I'd say.
Evil Dead was 80s.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It would be
Yeah.
funny if Sam Raimi would like do
Yeah.
something like that. Like,
Nightmare on Elm Street, that was 80s.
Right. Ooh.
Ghostbusters, they already did that little wink and nod.
I
That
heard
was
that Raimi
80s.
did do some Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Oh,
Yeah, I heard that somewhere. I don't know.
or he
where.
might
It
have
was on
wanted
YouTube.
to do. He might have done like a remake or something.
Let me have a look. I'll Google it real
Probably,
quick.
probably have to Google it.
because I think I
Because
saw
I heard
that
his
as-
name
as-
was Nightmare on Elm Street. I just can't remember what ones. Sam Raimi.
Yeah, because I was going to say, ironically related to that, speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, the ironic
Yeah.
twist was Robert Englund's going to be in season 4 of Stranger Things.
Who's that? Robert
Ro-
Englund.
Yeah, he played Freddy.
Original Freddy.
I thought Freddy was the dude from Watchmen.
No, he only did the reboot.
No.
The
Oh.
original 6 was done by Robert Englund.
Yeah.
And he's playing a character called Victor Creel.
Oh, wait. I remember seeing it from the trailer. It was like
The blind man or
living in
whatever.
this. Yeah.
Hang on a minute.
No, living in this home, but yeah.
I just realised there's a new Evil Dead movie with Raimi directing it coming out this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Evil
we
Dead
were talking about
Rise.
that,
It's all new
Is it
characters
the
as well.
remake?
No, all new characters. It
Yeah,
continues
that's what I
the
mean.
last one.
Remake. Yeah. Because
I forgot about that.
yeah. He's still so far behind, and now he's sending me content.
Holy fuck, he did Don't Breathe too. I forgot about that too.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm kind of keen
Where-
for where this new season is going. By all means, like, long episodes. Weirdly enough, I don't know why I just want to mention this, but when my dad was over today, he was watching on YouTube Skinwalker Valley, no Skinwalker Ranch. I don't know if you've watched it, but he was watching some of the stuff on it. And then he got me caught in it, and I've been binging all day. I watched season 1 of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. I watched the whole season 1. I was binging it, and I was like, damn, it's so good. Just like,
It never touched Nightmare on Elm Street.
I gotta watch that. Skinwalker Ranch. Is that on Netflix?
it was on Binge.
Binge. Okay.
I had season 1 up there, but they're on a 3rd season now. It just started.
I just finished watching Love, Death and Robots.
Yep.
That just came out on Netflix. It was all right. Like some of the episodes were really not good. Some were like pretty short. Others were just like, well, just didn't really tickle my fancy.
Free Baker was in that new season.
Yeah.
But no,
That's all I know.
But yeah, it looked really like some of the animation on there really, really fantastic. But
also, yeah, if anyone's definitely in there, if they haven't watched it, I would say Skinwalker Ranch. If they're in that kind of documentary, kind of, paranormal spirits, because it's very kind of dabbling on the sense of like what could be, the idea of what skinwalkers actually are, which your ancient Indian like ritual kind of spirits, whatever. But then there's forms of skinwalkers talking about them being aliens, but so cool. It's kind of funny watching. I was thinking about it too how like how Americans seem to like really over dramatize everything they do.
Yeah,
Like,
but they
it's
like
kinda
to
funny.
get big.
Yeah. I was like, you don't really, I don't know, I've never really noticed it until I started like trying to get into things more, and like you just watch things and you never really notice until you start thinking of that aspect of like kind of the acting side, I guess acting or being in like we're in front of the camera, but we're just casually in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But when you're like actually on a production set and you're doing
I
something,
mean, we're on camera than most.
you got to
more than most
emphasize,
people
like,
now.
yeah, like when you do stuff, you got to emphasize a bit more because
Like,
you got to make the moment feel a little bit more dramatic, or you got to make the moment feel like it's more of what's going on to like really bring people in. And it's just like, like there's just simple situation.
We kind of do that to a point, though.
Simple situation where you could be talking about something, but then you got to be like, and then you got to add the emphasis on like a few things and be like a little bit more like, like amazing. It's like, geez, it's a bit cringy, but
Found out that Raimi did Xena Warrior Princess show.
hey,
Alright.
yeah, he's on a.
I had no idea. That's not even
Well,
horror.
that kind of
it's just action.
explains that Lucy Lawless was in the
Evil,
Ash vs. Evil
Yeah,
Dead.
the series,
right?
makes sense.
Yeah, but like he did the show back in the 90s. Like
Uh,
I had no. He
it
was
was a
producer
very
on it.
popular TV show. I used to watch Hercules and Xena.
Yeah, that was both. Raimi.
Those like the two big TV series like back in the day. It's
So
still has a cult following. Still
yeah,
has,
definitely does.
Apparently, it's coming back at some point, but
They were gonna reboot it or something. There was talks of it.
That would have been
Wouldn't-
interesting. Seeing like Lucy
you'd probably
Lawless,
have Lucy
Kevin Sorbo
back,
come
like,
back.
playing Xena again, or because she still fucking got it.
Oh yeah, she's still got it. Yeah.
It'd be so different though if you was to come back and do it now, and like just how people act now compared to back then.
Back
It was
then,
very
yeah.
cheesy, wasn't it? To be fair,
And that Hercules
yeah.
crossover, and I still disappointed.
it's a way off. Fuck's sake. It's got the fucking subtitle. I remember
That's
that
still
one.
debated to this
Jesus.
day. Still. So I don't know if
Hey,
you
that was 90s TV, bro.
I don't know if anyone's interested, but the that new Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie dropped.
Okay. On Disney Plus. I'm
Yep,
guessing.
on Disney Plus. So not fully trying to spoil anything, but the main premise of where they're going for with the movie is that they're like the Chip and Dale like we knew as the cartoon growing up. This Chip and Dale movie is more of like it kind of sits in that realm of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. If you remember that world where there's like the real world and the cartoon characters and they all live together kind of thing.
Yeah.
This
Really
movie,
like in action.
this movie's kind of like that because you do see Roger Rabbit in this film, but it's kind of that thing where the real world characters are living with cartoon characters. So there's a lot of different cameos you see through the film. So you see characters that are like a lot of Disney characters, but you see like Transformers, South Park characters, like different kind of cartoon characters within this world.
Okay.
Like Bob's, I think there was like a Big Mouth character in there as
Hey,
well.
Bob the Builder.
I'll say Bob's Burgers. I think there was like I can't remember if it was Bob's
Yeah.
Burgers, but there's like a Big Mouth character in there. I think there was. But yeah, so it's like the whole kind of concept of that. So what it's meant to be is how this movie kind of portrays it is that Chip and Dale were actors, and they did the Rescue Rangers show. So it was kind of like a weird behind the scenes kind of
They did
day in the life kind of. Yeah, it's not a day in the life, but like events happen that kind of makes their real world a Rescue Rangers like situation kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a really weird twist of how we get a Rescue Rangers kind of reboot movie, which was fucking confusing. So
You don't need it.
Yeah, that's.
it's very
a little
confusing. It's very confusing,
What
and it
was
has like
that?
all these character like crossovers galore. Like it's a massive crossover galore.
Depends
Like
why it wasn't even in cinemas.
yeah. But one of the weirdest cameo kind of character references we saw, or I saw that's in this film, was that they actually had Ugly Sonic. So that's what they refer to as Ugly Sonic. So remember the original Sonic that they promoted to us for the original movie with the teeth and how he had that? They had that Sonic appear aged as well. And he was like, because that Sonic was an actor that got replaced by a different Sonic. Basically, is how they portrayed it in this universe. Like this whole movie is like a whole meta film that all the characters. It's like Wreck-It Ralph, basically, where the characters we see in our games are actually other characters behind the scenes, kind of thing. That's what this Chip and Dale movie is. Is the characters we see in like cartoon movies and everything like that are characters behind the scenes in this world, and then they come and they acted in these films. Like this is how they do it. So the base premises of the movie is that characters are being bootlegged, and there's a mystery trying to solve like who's bootlegging these characters, and they must be stopped. So basically, what's happening, the premise story is that characters are being the original IP characters. You know how copyright works. You know people knock off characters, and you've got to change that 5% to make it right for you to use, kind of thing. So how they're doing is how this movie puts that as a joke of copyright is that characters are being kidnapped.
Sonic.
Yeah, so characters are being kidnapped and then being bootlegged. So characters are being kidnapped, changed by like 5%, and then resold to the market to be sold in bootlegged movies. And it's a very weird, like it's like what the fuck? Like the movie's being very, very self-aware of the industry basically, and it's weird to be like, let's make a movie that's very self-aware of the industry that makes fun of the film industry, also making fun. It's like what the? It's kind of like
no one does that in the film industry though. That's the thing. No one does that.
Yeah, it's very weird, and it's a very weird film. Like it's kind of watchable, but it's not. And I was left with a very confused moment after. Like I get the story and where it's going from, but I was just like, did they have to make this? Yeah, I was like, could they not have just made an actual Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie?
Stenberg made it. So, I mean,
yeah, it's just like I was very confused watching it.
Not that he's bad at writing, but it
does definitely feel like a very Saturday Night Live skit, like a full movie Saturday Night Live kind of skit.
It should have been like a short, maybe. Or
definitely would be better for kids. Like it's definitely designed for kids and targeted at kids. But the problem is it being Chip and Dale, that's targeted at us.
Yeah, 30 years fucking cartoon.
I mean, the fun fact as well, I was based after Chip and Dale.
But a lot of content were always, if you think about it, all the stuff that we liked as kids actually did have adult content in there that we just never got because we were kids. So they're doing the exact same thing that we're doing, except we get the adult content, but we enjoy it because it was part of our childhood. But even then,
you don't even really enjoy it. It's just so like...
Not aimed at us, though. in that way. Like,
Yeah, it's mainly
cringe
aimed at
to us.
children, but
the funny thing is, they definitely really made fun of the whole ugly Sonic thing because they really point out the teeth because people talked about the teeth in the memes.
More the eyes though, like that.
But they definitely talk about the teeth a lot in this. There's I mean, I don't think you guys are going to really watch it anyway.
I mean, I might watch it at some point.
There's a Seth Rogen joke reference. So,
see, why has he come up in there?
He plays They talk about the Uncanny Valley at one point, so there's characters talking about that. But you know how really bad video game animations where the characters never really looked at characters? They just looked blank in this. So there's a character he plays in that he's like a dwarf, and he has a blank stare. He's just staring off. And the chipmunks are like, of course, short, and he's a dwarf, so they're down on the ground. And they're like, "Can you see us?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm looking at you," but his eyes are literally looking straight. He's like, "I can see you guys there." And they're like, "Are you sure?" And they like, "Can you see us?" Like, "Yes, I can see you." Like, I'm looking right at you.
Doesn't.
But there's a moment. There's a moment in the film where he's running and he falls over, and when he's fallen down, he's like, "Oh God, what's happening?" And then the slime monster from Monsters vs. Aliens. Remember, he played the voice of the slime of that. That thing pops over and he goes, "Are you alright?" And then he played the grasshopper in Kung Fu Panda. That comes in. He's like, "Yeah, are you sure you're okay?" So all the different characters he's done in animations, they all appear on screen. And he's like, "Huh," and they're all like laughing and like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" It's like, "Oh, okay." There's a whole massive Seth Rogen skit with like 6 different Seth Rogen characters talking to each other. And it's just like, I'm very like, I get where the jokes are coming from, what they're trying to do, but like, it's just like.
Yeah, I
probably
won't
like
watch
an idea.
I
but
probably
not
won't.
for that movie.
If you want to watch Flula's in it.
Flula?
Flula?
The German YouTuber.
Yeah. He plays.
He's in a whole bunch of other movies.
He plays a
He's
snake,
kind of
and he's like,
retired YouTube, I think now.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of
He's
stuff.
kind of ascended up to here now.
Yeah, he's in enough movies that you'll kind of go, "Oh yeah, Flula movie."
So yeah, I mean, sorry for those that might want to watch. I may have spoiled it, may have not. I mean, it's a kids' movie. It's weird. They make reference to Pogs.
Really spoil kids.
I got upset. I had a depressing moment because they made
You're
reference.
not watching this anyway.
No.
So. I'm not planning on watching.
I mean, it's not really saying to really spoil because it's just a movie that's just
watch
a
it from
movie.
board maybe, but
Literally. But no, there was a moment that made me sad because I was like, I miss Pogs. They made a reference to Pogs because Dale had the whole Pog collection. They literally had, like, they held showed the thing that had, like, the whole Pog collection. I think it was CG. But I was like...
I reckon, I know Pogs are still a thing. People have them.
Yeah, but I was like, man, I looked at it.
Practical ones for that.
I looked at it like, I remember having that Pog and that Pog and that one. I was like, I want Pogs again. Why can't we have chips with Pogs in them like we used to? Like...
No, Tarzo's, Pogs.
Yeah, I don't think we're bringing back solid things in packets of chips or cereal boxes anymore.
I know, it's so sad. Like, I don't know why.
It's all digital. They've worked it out. It's a lot cheaper to do digital.
Bro, why can't we just have our Pogs? They're physical NFTs.
I remember getting the chip packets and shaking it, see if it has something in there. Like,
yeah. But I was going to say, though, because I was saying that to Al when we were watching the movie and when it was done, I was like, if they put Pogs in it today, because the way people collect things now, like the collector in us all, do you imagine how many chips they would sell in this day and age?
Back in the day when we used to fucking get them by the freaking like
I can see where it can be profitable, but yet again, all they'll do is they'll do it half-assed and they'll be like, it'll be like collect them all, but it's all digital. And it's like
scan this code and then get this
fucking NFT bullshit.
I just wish I could collect things like that. Like we have, you get the Woolworths and Coles stuff. But like, I just love the chip ones because we had like but I just like to buy my packet of chips and just be like, fuck the chips. I got a Pog. I got the extra rare one. Or I go like, look at that. And then you're like, and you're like, I don't. Something about buying those chips. It's just.
And that's why people collect Pokemon cards now. That's why Pokemon cards
I haven't realized
back to being collectible.
It used to be a niche to collect Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
And now everyone does it.
Everyone and their fucking mum's got them now.
Not just that, like, it's quite profitable to actually have those cards now.
It should be illegal to do that. Like, just
or even Magic the Gathering.
I just something, I don't know, it's just something about, like, getting a cereal box and pulling the toy out of the cereal box, or getting a pack of chips and just having something about that was just so satisfying.
Yeah,
I don't know what it
their
is.
license from a cereal box.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but something about that is just so satisfying. Just
The funny
finding
is,
that
you would
little
just
thing.
stop the cereal and just get the fucking thing
Well,
out.
remember
Of
That's
the,
exactly. You'd always like quickly pour half it out and you pour it back in the container. Like I got the thing.
Well,
But like,
Nutri-Grain used to have Age of Empires CDs.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I remember
Everyone
that.
had a copy
The
of Age of
Kellogg's.
Empires.
The Kellogg's came with different games. You had Age of Empires. You had all these different games that came with the cereals.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
they
the
still
main
do.
one I'd
I think
always
they
try and
still
get
do
was
that.
Age
Like,
of Empires.
like I can understand. Like, I mean, you couldn't be codes because then people would fucking rip into the boxes and steal the codes.
Mhm.
But like,
Yeah.
why
And people do
can't?
that to the fucking
I mean,
toys.
that's
and
the
that,
weird
bro.
thing. We had cereals where people wouldn't even steal. Like, you think about this day and age now, but like back then, we had cereals with literal CDs in them. No one stole the CDs, but if they did that now, people would steal the CDs. People would literally rip the
Some
box
people
open.
did steal them.
But like,
Some
yeah.
people like opened it sneakily and like put them backwards and shit in the shelf.
But it wasn't. But like, I feel nowadays it would happen more. People would steal those things more now than back then. But like,
well, not really, because there's no CD things in them.
no. But that's what I'm saying. That kind of concept. If they're like, here's a movie, or
Can you
Are you
imagine
stating that
fucking-
people are more dicks now than they were 10
Kind
years
of,
ago?
kind of
like,
feeling that,
movies,
yeah.
subscriptions, like Disney Plus in the
Yeah.
cereal
I mean,
box.
they sell DVDs. Some DVDs pretty cheap. Like I picked up some DVDs
Like-
the other day, like really freaking cheap. Like Coles was selling DVDs for like $2. Like you
Yeah.
can pick up like Spider-Man, friggin' into the Spider-Verse, like $2.
Yeah.
And
But
like,
it would be nice, like, yeah, it was nice back
I've got
then to
some-
kind of go get those Age of Empires CDs from the Nutri-Grain
You know what was it?
packets.
Men in Black,
Or like
friggin'
anything else like that,
like
you know.
$3.
It was just crazy that was a
Oh.
thing. Like I used to, I've still got them somewhere.
So
but
many
the
things.
little
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
3D
I was
Pokemon
still at my
cards.
parents' place.
The little 3D Pokemon discs as well, or the fucking
Yeah, yeah.
the old scratch stick, those
the-
fucking weird monster ones.
those
that had
fucking
the-
tiny discs. Those little
What about
ones.
those cards that had like the little diagonal shapes on the sides and they had the glow in the dark? Fucking I keep forgetting them. They were my favorite cards. They had like the little quirky facts on the back and they had like the little weird monster characters, like weird twisted. Do you remember? Oh, what are they called?
I don't remember them, no.
Oh, I've talked about them before. I mentioned
I
them
remember
before.
the Dragon Ball Z Tarzos. Those things. Were
Dragon Ball Z Tarzos, and you always had the gold one.
and the Looney Tunes
Um,
Tarzos. They were
I
kind
don't
of
know
pogs
what
at the same time, though. Them
Uh,
pog ones
what,
with
what,
the Looney
what,
Tunes.
I'd say one of the reasons why we don't have things in cereal packets is, yeah, obviously people would steal them.
Odd Buds!
Eat
the cereal
Odd Buds,
still,
bro!
like, the thing-
Odd Buds! That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, but yeah.
Odd Buds! Do you remember the Odd Buds?
Oh, God.
Odd Buds with the bells!
Like the lick and dip things.
Yeah, they were in the cards. They were for the chips and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Smith's chips had the Odd Buds.
Yeah, but
and
they had
got
them with the Whiz Fizz as well.
Yeah.
Those things are amazing.
Oh, God.
Things were like that. Why can't we have things like that again? They were so good.
Also,
Oh.
90s and that early 2000s was a very gimmicky time.
Space
Yeah,
chippies.
Exactly. Yeah.
Space chippies. It's like a flying space potato.
But another reason is because
Gobble-dog.
environmentally, by making something like and putting it in the box
Ah.
as extra packaging, a lot of people were very fussy about extra packaging.
Yeah.
So they thought it was like, all right, it's all this. And also, like, if you've noticed the
It's a
boxes for
little
cereal,
fucking plastic.
they've got
little
them.
Ah.
Yeah, you're paying more and you're getting smaller boxes as well these days. So if they're going to chuck something in there, it ruins their overhead.
Because you used to
Another
get the Age
thing-
of Empires disc for like what, $4 or $5. It was like
Yeah,
so
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, exactly. But also another thing is it's cheaper to do digital. If any giveaway, it's digital, and if people don't claim it, therefore it's not a actual physical
Wow.
thing. They're not losing money
The
out
thing
of.
is, with the digital stuff now, it's like 1 in 100. It's like fuck off, just put the
Okay,
thing in
so
the box.
there's a
Yeah,
stack.
yeah.
There's a collection here at the moment. I'm looking at eBay. I was just curious how trending these kind of are still. It's at $35 at the moment. It's had 10 bids for a stack of
I'll
odd
probably
bots.
finish a collection, maybe.
Oh, bots.
Yeah, people are still like the one bid on this one here
These
for
are for
$9.20.
kids,
for
like,
cards.
Who
Like-
be buying those in 2022? Like, that's like 20 years old.
Oh, I kind of want. Oh, there's the thing with the frame that came with the Hypervision. Oh, do you remember that? When it came with the thing and had the 3D cut, like the weird card, and you had to like put it in the little frame thing to slide the card, and you slid the card left
Maybe-
and right, and it changed the image.
Oh yeah, yeah. You used to get those from a thing too. Like
The
those
hypo-
little, you put the little cards, and you used to get the little clicky
1996 Glow
Oh,
Zone.
they're cool.
Oh, the footy odd bods too. I forgot about those.
The what?
The football ones.
What do you mean? Those are still a thing.
The AFL odd bods, where I had all the AFL characters.
Oh,
I had some of
God.
those.
Sake.
And they had the information on the back, and you could like half cross the body and stuff with them.
I think those are still a thing.
That was so cool.
Not the exact same, but they are still a thing.
Someone's got it in
In
like
the
a
footy pack.
in a sleeve.
That's like a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card sleeve and shit. Pokemon
no.
card.
In fact, it's like a proper sealed thing.
It's
IP.
way too big
oh,
for
the
it.
IP Forever. I had that one.
You know the Age of Empire CD? It was actually 20 years ago, back in 2002.
I've still got that somewhere. I've got that
Oh,
CD
10.
somewhere still.
Yeah,
Fuck.
which reminds me, that's why I wanted to get a copy of the because they actually released a limited edition cereal for Age of Empires when it was just recently
Was there a
released.
cornflakes or something?
Bro,
Yeah,
I
they
am so
call it,
tempted.
Warlios, which was
Oh, the
yeah,
fucking
the
Wallolos.
Wololo, Wololo, which was based on the
Oh
character
my
of
That
god,
was recent too, man.
that was
Jim!
very recent. It was for
Right.
Age of Empires 4.
Because I remember the Wallolos. I've seen on Instagram.
Yeah. Wololo.
Tarzos.
The Dragon Ball one?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That
Oh,
and
nice.
the. Oh no.
How
You can't,
much?
I can't see it.
Can't see it.
1,000. No! No, it's not even 1,000. They want $1,234,567 for it. I've got one. I had one of those.
This is this this
Oh,
is.
bruh.
I was definitely a kid
Oh,
for this.
oh, I'll
Did
buy
anyone
that.
remember the Jackie Chan book when you got the cards with it back in the day?
Yeah.
I had those. Those were amazing.
Oh, I might buy that. I'm not
Like
telling
got it
anyone
from
about
the
this.
IGA. Oh fuck! I just found them. I had
Are they per?
These are like the Jackie Chan Pokemon cards. I'm gonna take a
Alright,
quick.
I'm
picture,
checking it up now. There was the Dragon Ball Z Tarzo disc.
Ooh.
Goal, basically Super Saiyan Goku. It was the 31 out of 40. They've got it, in a case. They're selling it for $5,000.
Yeah, that would be a price too. Actually,
Oh,
that
bro,
probably would be a-
wow. Okay, this dude's selling
authenticated.
Tarzos for $3 a Tarzo for the Dragon Ball ones. He sold 59 Tarzos.
I mean, seriously, but these are the Jackie
At
Chan
$3
cards.
a pop? That's insane.
Oh, I remember Jackie Chan. I remember Jackie Chan,
Yeah.
the cartoon.
I had those. I literally, because I was my nan used to like give me money 'cause I did chores and that at her place. I used to go to the supermarket, get the magazine, like the proper book and shit, come with the cards and oh man,
Yeah.
don't know where they went. But I used to. Fuck, that brings back memories. Had bad guys, good guys. Remember one called Daidu?
Oh,
I named my cat after it.
bro, I'm tempted to scour now because I want to get all the classic stuff. It's kind of heading me down a nostalgia trip because actually, curbside's happening in my area at the moment, and we found some good items in the curbside. So we were going around. It was yesterday. We were just driving by, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" We pulled over. We found a pet carrier, and it was shoved with books. And we found, unfortunately, there was some empty DS cases. So there was like Pokemon DS. And I thought, oh, maybe there was the DS games in there. So we missed out on some of the old Pokemon games on DS. They were empty cases. But but we actually found 3 DS games out of the total 7 that were there. So there was a Transformers movie DS game, some Dragon DS game, and then there was Lego Lord of the Rings DS game.
Yeah.
So I managed to find those on the curbside, and then I found all of the original Harry Potter books, the original prints, like their first edition, whatever it was, or whatever they did back then. Found all those. And found so many books. I was like, damn, got a couple like Goosebump. I think it was like a Goosebump book in there or something. And I was like, I was amazed at the score we found, and then we found a Care Bear in there that's worth apparently valued at $300. That was on curbside. I was like, fuck. Really good score. And I was like, just thinking all these things, I'm like, I don't know, just thinking about so much stuff. I just want
Jackie
to.
Chan.
Oh, I remember
came out too.
those.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's called
The,
Jackie Chan's Adventures.
Wasn't the star signs? They were meant to be the star signs? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a come to the little collector's tin you got with it too, and you just put them in there with all the cards and the magazines.
Like, I just want to kind of like get.
I was such a nerd back then.
I just want to like find all the old oddbods and
Not
like
odd,
buy
no.
some online, and, like buy some Pogs and Tarzos and like.
That collector's thing's there for $50 on eBay. The whole
Yeah.
thing's like cards and.
I'm gonna find my folder. I'm
Rusty.
gonna ask my parents for it because I got the old folder too that had the original like '90s Spider-Man cartoon cards.
I just don't know.
I collected
like,
those.
Where they all went. I had it.
And I got like most of them, and I wouldn't be mind like finding that folder and then at least knowing what I've got and what I'm missing, and then try and find the ones I'm missing online, and then buy the missing ones to complete my set because I was only missing a few of them. I had like a folder. I collected so many things back in the day as a kid, like so many cool things that look. Like the Spider-Man cards were the best. I don't know if you remember them, but like you collect the cards and they create like a whole 9-card image when you put them all together.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That you had to get like a 1 of 9. And
Yeah.
2 of 9 and
I mean,
stuff.
some of the cards would be individuals, but then you had them and they had the nice murals, and it was all of the 90s Spider-Man.
Some of them were the flip ones, so you'd have the bit, but on the other side it would be like either a single photo.
Yeah.
That means you can still have it just as that, or it would have like a little bit of like a story.
Yeah,
behind
and
it,
they're
like
cool because you'd have them when you bind it. It like made sense back in the day of actually having your cards in the binder like one-sided because you'd have stuff, so you'd flip it and you'd have information on the back. Nowadays we like double-sided like our Pokemon cards and stuff. You just double-sided because there's nothing on the back. But like they were cool back in the day because you actually had stuff like you could read the fact or you see the extra image, and it was nice to like. That's why they made the sleeves like that back in the day.
NBA cards kind of did the same thing, except I saw.
thing.
Remember, they used to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone's
There was
already
like
gone,
1 of
apparently.
3, and it'd be like a banner of like the name of the team, but it'd come in 3 parts. And if you'd had all 3 parts, it'd be like, reflective kind of material.
It's just so cool. Like I just, and they're not badly expensive. But then you got some things that are expensive. Like I was looking up the other day of the old small soldier toys, and they go for a fucking fortune.
They're not expensive either.
Yeah.
No, they are. Some of them go for a couple of 100,000.
50, 80.
No, I haven't found they're that cheap. I mean,
Well,
there have
that's
been
the thing,
some, but they're not the good. Like the ones that I've noticed that are kind of cheap. They're like a lot of them have been like the Happy Meal toys that they're selling for like $50 and stuff. And it's just like, what? This is a Happy Meal toy. What are you doing selling for $50? Like,
Well, it's not. You can't find them.
I know, but it's just like it's so limited. But like, it's just weird.
Because I've seen like all the stuff I used to have for like maybe $50, $60 small soldiers.
I'm like, I wouldn't really pay that much for that, but it's like, oh, like, but I
I'll get that price back in the day.
Well, imagine all the pop vinyls, from when you've, been collecting in the last 10 years or so. In about 20 years from now,
they're going to go
they'll
up.
be like they'll go
You
up
wouldn't
because
sell them though. Jeez.
well, exactly because most of them are gone for a run and they're never going to release that run again. And if they do, it will be like a variant of that run.
You've seen
So
they've done the
it'll be
recent price hike as well. Have you seen that? They've jacked the price up again.
No.
So the standard pop price now is $23 from $19.
Oh, that's too
Oh,
expensive.
okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They've gone up by $4.
I stopped collecting pops. I only used to get ones
That's
that I
three.
really wanted, and it was very few. Well, yeah.
I only
But
bought.
I don't have like a
myself.
wall.
So that's
collection like
the
most-
problem as well. Like I can see
like
generally if the standard pop price goes up, then I can understand like to a degree the price is going to go up if you resell. So if you bought a pop for $15 back in the day, I can kind of understand at least you going, I want a minimum of 23 now because the base price to buy brand new pops is 23. So you wouldn't go any lower than that, which is creating a point where pops are just going to keep going up. Like it's going to get to a really scary because they know
It's
they
gonna
can
be
sell
$30,
them.
$40 a pop of it.
Yeah, it's going to get to the base price. It's going to be like $30.
That's when
It's going to
people
be
are
scary.
gonna stop.
Like
They're
they're
gonna
going to be
go back down,
themselves in. Yeah.
I
Well,
understand
people should
that.
go now and not buy them because 23 or 24 is too expensive for a pop.
Yeah. Just a piece of a statue. Like
I fell into the. I used to be a huge Fallout collectors fan, Fallout collector. So I've got this like little collection of Fallout memorabilia. So some stuff from the Bethesda store, some stuff from like over the years. So I've got the mini nuke
Mystery
with
crates
the
and
game
that.
Yeah, I've got like the Power Armor figurine, but the big one that costs like $1,000.
That's crazy.
So, other Power Armor
He's
figurines
mad
as
into Fallout.
well. Yeah. A few pop vinyls, Fallout ones, like the Pit Boys, stuff like that. I don't have the helmet. I used to, but then something just happened. Someone took it. So,
What?
um,
How they take a fucking helmet?
oh yeah, it's complicated. Don't want to get into it. Very
Was it that
frustrated.
Fallout 76 helmet?
I,
That big
I want to
fucking-
get another Fallout helmet, like the Power Armor helmet, Power Armor helmet. But
Yeah.
when I find one that's at the right price, because it's staying at like about 150. That's pretty
That's why I was
bad,
lucky
though.
when with like it's behind the thing, like that Halo helmet, like the Halo 3 Legendary Collector's one that's not wearable, but like that was like me. Like I managed to find a friend that was selling $50. I was like fucking onto that.
Yeah,
I was like,
exactly. I would pay $50, but everyone else is selling
Maybe
for about
100.
$150.
yeah,
And
don't spend $260, $250.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I want to get the box and everything else in it, so it comes with like the little army men, the Fallout army men. But it's I was a Fallout collector. I got everything like from the Fallout cookbook to the figurines, to everything. So and it got like a bit too much. I was in a collectors club, group that was on Facebook.
No, you just a fan, bro. That's all.
Oh yeah. I've got like Fallout vinyls. Got a massive amount of these Fallout vinyls. These the one song that's in it that was from the last Fallout game,
Yeah.
76. I think it was 76. And Stack Magazine had that vinyl for free for one issue for free. So I went around to all the JB Hi-Fis at all the Stack magazines, grabbed bundles of them, and I had like a big stack of like 12 I managed to get my hands on, because all the rest just went. And I think I still kept about just a few of them, like 3 of them. All the rest I sent off, to all other collectors. Collectors.
Yeah, I remember you saying something about that. They went so quickly. Like,
well, they paid for postage. That's all I wanted for it.
By the time I realized they were a
it was
thing,
for
like
free.
people had gone onto it and took them, like people were grabbing it so much, like.
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't
I've got
even
both of the Pit Boys, like the ones that you guys
the
have.
build kit and then the.
I've got the build kit and the one
thing
from
here.
I've got
Build
the
one?
build kit
That's fucking
and
cool.
I've got the other one as well. So, but one of the funny things was
these things are amazing. Like,
oh yeah.
just
The funny thing was, at PAX a few years ago, Bethesda came that year, and they were literally just giving away like $10,000 worth of merch.
One thing you won't
And
never have.
some of the merch.
One thing you'll never have.
I don't have one of them.
Oh my god!
But
I made it myself.
one
thing you'll never have.
The ones that they were like EB Games, not Zing. Zing was selling those ones.
Yeah.
And I was so tempted to get them, but
You had to build. Wasn't it build yourself kit?
yeah, I think it was one of those build yourself kits.
Something like that.
So I wanted to jump on Bethesda shop, and they have so much stuff that I'm like, all right, I want to get the clothes, I want to get shirts. I got like a little pack that has the Fallout shirt, hat, all that kind of stuff. But it got to the point where I was like, I need to stop, because it's not that I'm getting it for like long-term investment for later on. It was for the fact that anything that had Fallout on it, I was
They
getting.
actually move like the actual.
Oh yeah. I've got
cool.
I had to get like an old iPhone to put into the top, so it actually had the screen out of the game. Yeah, in the top. So the one that you've got is the build yourself one, which actually has the cassette. You can get the cassettes that go into it. I had the older
took like
version.
3 hours to build.
Yeah. The older one that I had
My brother got it from my
with
birthday
screen.
or Christmas.
You can replace the screen, and it's a touch screen, and play and you just have all the songs from the video game in it.
This has
so I
a
had that set up.
thing here with the tape. I don't know how that.
Yeah, the tape. It pops out. You can
works,
actually buy the tape separately, and they will actually build it yourself as well, and you can replace it.
I don't remember how that. I don't want to break it. I don't want to fucking.
Yeah. So I've got both of those Pit Boys.
I know that opens the back, I think, which makes that loose. I'm not gonna push that again. Yeah, but I kind of want to wear this and like just dress up in the 76 like suit.
In the suit, yeah.
I think it's a 76.
Well, I've got
I'm
a
not sure.
vault suit as well. So yeah, I've got one of those Pit Boys as well. I've got both.
Yeah,
of them.
Jim, we got both of them now. We can
Yeah.
show everyone the difference between the two of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it off. I'm awkward.
I actually got a cosplay. I don't know if you've seen that photo.
Like this has this is a nice one. So. I can't get that open.
Yeah, I forgot how it goes open. It's
There's a button there for it, but I don't know how it actually.
They're pretty cool.
opens.
So, yeah, that's in there. So this is.
I think it was expensive because I didn't expect this. I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
Well,
Then my
I
brother
got
just goes
mine
buy.
on sale, so I'm very much like a hunter of deals and bargains. So that was if I knew something was going up. So one of the things that were
This was the
collected for
Mark
Fallout
6.
was the Fusion Flea, which is the car, the little mini 2-person, 1-person car that you'll see in the game. The Fusion Flea, which was like an old school type of car. And you'll see it in the game, but you could buy the models for them. And there was a particular color, I think it was purple or something like that, and that was going for $4,000. So it was that rare to find that color in particular one. That was going for $4,000. All the rest were going for like a couple of hundred, so on and so forth. But if you could find a purple one, I'm pretty sure it was purple color. That was worth like $4,000 in the collector's bit for a while.
Got a box for it, but I don't know what the fuck it is.
So it's. I was collecting a lot of things. Fallout, and some things do go up in price.
Though,
yeah, exactly. I just made that decision, like going. It would. I'd have to be a millionaire to get everything Fallout, and just
like the Nuka-Cola lava lamps and Nuka-Cola
exactly
fridges, and oh my god.
Yeah, and having an entire room devoted to Fallout, kind of, it's just.
If
it's kind of cool.
If a woman saw that, unless they're a Fallout fan, they'd be like.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd be like, "What is this?"
I'd like to have a relationship later.
I mean, hey, it's perfect if you got one that likes Fallout.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Man.
That's fine. That's fine. I've seen people run away in fear and confusion.
And then they might take it if you separate. They're like, "That's mine now."
Yeah. Well, that's also.
And then there's Wookie.
Be careful for. Yeah. That's just have a prenup, just like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
Yeah, you can have everything else, but don't touch my Fallout merch.
Yeah. So,
which is worth way more.
As a little segue there, you guys been keeping up with the trial?
I mean,
on and off.
Not really.
On and off. It's from
Megapint.
A fair amount of people I've been talking to about it. Yeah, it's gone a little bit like, what the hell? It's...
Oh, the one thing that hurts me the most, like, the thing that gets me the most is you watch the two different sides. Like, you see when Depp's up there and you see when Heard's up there when they're talking and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, Depp is always, like, he's always, like, talking and he's, like, directing where he needs to talk. Like, the question's being asked, he talks where he talks. And you see Heard when she's up there. And the question's being asked by her, and then she's too busy looking at the juror and be like, well, this is what this happened, this is what this happened. Like, why are you talking to the jury for?
Yeah.
Talk to the person that's giving you the question.
She's
Show
trying
the respect,
to convince the jury while Depp is just saying it how it is. He's like, oh yeah, whatever, and just blah, blah, blah. This is, he's just stating the fact. Yep. Well, for her, it's like a performance.
She's forgetting what she said. Like, she's mixing everything. Yeah. Like, she's fucking up.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think we've got like a week.
He has a solid fucking everything that happened. He's on point.
Yeah, because he knows exactly how it goes. For her, it's a lot of contradiction. Like, all the witnesses, even her own witnesses, have been coming up and saying, and she's been saying they're all liars. Like, the security was liars, the police were liars.
Even the bee, he said.
Yeah. Even her own psychologist. She's a liar. Johnny Depp's psychologist. She's a liar as well. Like, it's gotten to the fact where you think that she's even saying to her own lawyers that they're liars.
Yeah.
It's funny because
they're laughing his head off.
Well, she didn't. She said she
Because she's
pledged.
marked him up that bad that he's just losing it. Like, he's just laughing. He's like,
Oh
"Arsehole,"
yeah,
'cause-
yeah. He's laughing with his attorneys as
yeah,
while
like
that's
showing little
happening.
jokes, and
Like
she's getting pissed because they're doing that. It's like,
well, apparently, there was a scene that was pointed out where Johnny Depp's security guard was laughing so much he had to excuse himself out of the courtroom.
Yeah.
Like you see himself laughing, and
Yep.
you see him bolt out with like a grin on his face, just laughing, just running out the
Oh,
courtroom.
that should be over by now. Like, fuck me.
Yeah,
I think
I
it is
know.
over, isn't it?
The
No.
amount of people
There
that
was-
have laughed at the things she said, like people get confused by what even their lawyers have been
Oh,
asking.
stung by a
and
bee. Oh.
Well,
My
no,
dog
there
was
was
stung by a bee. Like, what does that got to do with anything? What's got to
yeah, exactly. But there was also the fact that like
Yeah, but then the
she
bee
was
he
saying,
said. Did you see that? The bee's
Uh,
up to the market and went, he said.
oh yeah. That was like
Someone
hearsay
like
and
just
all
made
kind of
that.
stuff. But there was also the fact that like when her lawyer was saying, this is the makeup she was using to cover up her bruises. ... Back then, it was like. And then the company that made that makeup said, "Oh well, we didn't release that makeup till like 2017." But you're saying that this happened back in 2015, so that was a huge contradiction.
fact
It was
that
like a big point
he
that the lawyers were trying to push.
apparently broke her nose, but it was nail polish as blood. Like,
Yeah. Or
on the fucking tissue with nail polish. I'm like, how? She's just fucked.
well, there was also another thing where she like the lawyers pointed out that she pledged to give 7 million to charity. But
Didn't.
then she never gave it in the first place.
Nope.
And then she was saying, "Oh no,
Took it,
the reason
didn't
why I didn't do it, I had to pay for lawyers and that." And it was
For
like,
what?
well, wait a minute. This was like, several months. You had enough time to go. You got the money. It was settled. Blah blah blah. You pledged it. You were going to give 7 million. But then you waited several months before you started trying to sue Mr. Depp. For 100 mil. And yet she could have easily just given the money, and then she had plenty of time. She held that 7 mil with no intention of really giving it to charity. She just did it as a fucking bleeding heart kind of thing.
More of a cover up.
Yeah, exactly. So even her own witnesses were saying, well, this is.
Just
This
imagine
bullshit.
being that charity that she named and be like, where the fuck is it?
Well, actually, one of the most interesting things that came up recently also is James Franco is involved.
Yes.
So, one incident was when Johnny Depp was out of town, and this was like before they filed for divorce or something. And then she was still staying at Johnny Depp's apartment, penthouse. And she had Johnny Depp come around when she knew that, she had James Franco come around even when she knew that Johnny Depp was out of town for a few days. And you see the video footage of him coming to the elevator and then her, like, resting her head on his shoulder, like, comforting.
Oof.
And it was all like, this is James Franco. And the funny thing was, it looked like James Franco, knew where the camera was.
Oh, they both do,
So-
yeah.
They both knew where the camera was. So basically, he was moving in a way that he wouldn't be recognized, like he's been there several times before. So,
she's just a bit of a.
yeah. And her excuse was, the reason why he didn't, was being like that was, Johnny Depp didn't like James Franco. So, he didn't.
I'm pretty sure Depp's not one of them people to hate someone. Like, he doesn't seem like it.
Well,
he's
about
a man,
James,
and he told him
about
James
James
to shut
Franco,
up.
right? Recent allegations.
Nah.
Okay, so recent allegations of James Franco have been popping up where he's been apparently basically he's been saying sexual favors for movie roles and shit like that.
Because
So he's been grooming women in order to get,
Because he'd come out and stated as well that he's like strong on sexual addiction as well. He's a big sex addict, and that's where the problems come from, is because they've been talking about, like, a lot of stuff been talking about, and people have been
Hence
talking
why
about
Seth
breaking
Rogen
down
hates him then.
that Yeah, because he said it started off at like at an early age, like for the attention, and attention evolved to like once he started getting praise from women, and then he started getting, and then it turned from praise from people to then sex, because sex was next to praise, and because he was becoming more popular, more women were going, oh, well, let me sleep with you, and he was like, yeah, sure, why not, you know, and then it grew from there, and it got worse and worse and worse, and I mean, you know, it's just fucked, like it's just no self control, it's gone down this fucking shithole. And then it's
it also explains why Hollywood's just ditched him after like the last 6 years or so.
Like, he got real shady with it.
Yeah, he went real shady. So it could be a reason why Johnny Depp doesn't like James Franco.
The fact that the whole thing that went on with him,
yeah, but also no one likes him now.
But the fact that incident happened before all that stuff came out about James Franco. But even if James Franco is saying he's a sex addict and all that kind of stuff, well, why is he sneaking in to see Amber Heard at 11 p.m. at night?
Cool,
11 p.m. This is any time after 11 p.m. We know it's kind of a bit of a booty call here. He wasn't going over the kind of say everything's going to be all right. He technically is. He's just saying it with his cock. But we all know exactly what he's there for.
You ride the pony.
Exactly. So, and that shows that obviously she was, was not, basically exclusive to Johnny Depp during her marriage.
She had many people over there, bro.
Oh, yeah. It's she wasn't faithful. She was obviously.
I mean, some probably were just friends, but
and it showed also the other people that were like literally living off Johnny Depp was
all of them. Really,
all of them. Yeah, it wasn't just Amber Heard; it was her sister as well. Her sister was living.
The fact that he didn't even know half people even there.
Yeah. All these people were just living off Johnny Depp. You get to the obviously after this is all gone,
he's gonna be fucking so paranoid after this.
When he wins, even if he wins like the 50 mil off Amber Heard. Well, we don't know the outcome if he wins or she wins. Doesn't matter. Like, even if he doesn't win or
she wins, that system's fucked.
Exactly.
Oh, exactly.
But even if he does win, I would say if I was Johnny Depp, I'd be cutting a lot of people off.
Oh, I think
I'd be looking through the fucking binder of.
He would have had to do that all fucking
preloading off me right now.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. We've heard gone. All her friends haven't gone.
Because after an incident like that, you would start questioning other people that have been doing it for years. Like, I understand there was one person that was a painter that was actually being he got a penthouse and basically he was getting paid by Johnny Depp just to do art for Johnny Depp. That is very, very thoughtful, very nice. All that kind of stuff, and even the guy was very grateful for it. It was shown even during the trial. The guy, he said that he cried when he was like, "All right, this is the penthouse you get to live in, just to paint." The guy was living in his garage, painting out of his mum's garage before that.
I didn't believe him at first. He's like, "What?"
Yeah.
He was like,
but
do it.
That guy was genuinely grateful. Where you had someone like Amber Heard who was
looking for granted.
Yeah, well, literally just
attention,
money, using even after Johnny Depp, she would latch straight onto Elon Musk, and he was smart enough to go fuck off, bitch. Just made sense.
It's funny when you see anyone with her in public, the person's never happy. Like that.
No, they look miserable. They look like they've been beaten up. Like they all look like they've got a red eye or a black eye or something. They look miserable.
No, but just their face expression is just sad. Like,
but, they don't want to be there.
But no, was it Robert Downey Jr.'s
easy? The thing is, you can just leave at any fucking point. No one can stop you. Just something happens,
about
leave.
Robert Downey Jr.?
Robert Downey Jr. is trying to get Johnny Depp back into movies and stuff. Like he's trying to work
there was a thing
out.
I read.
Yeah.
That Jerry Bruckheimer said Depp could be going back because there's 2 movies being written.
But at the same time, Depp's like, no, he's straight up doesn't want to do it because he's like, they stabbed him in the back and stuff like that.
Well, it showed that his career took more of a dive than Amber Heard's. Not until recently, when there's been talks about cutting her screen time in Aquaman
5 minutes of the movie now.
To the point where
4 million
they now actually want to take her out of the movie.
Hmm.
Well, they already have.
It was 4 million signatures to get it removed from the movie entirely.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's got like 5 or 10 minutes in there now.
They
or
at
something. Like,
last
It was
reminded me,
scaled
they
down
said
to
10 minutes,
but
but people want it completely gone.
But recently, yeah, there was apparently there was an emergency meeting, and they wanted to actually, because of the trial, what's been happening, they want to cut out completely.
yeah. I mean, you can't really do it because she makes sense of the story, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
She stated in the first Aquaman movie she made $1 million, and the second one she was guaranteed $2 million. And $2
Nothing,
million
no.
for like 10 minutes being in a movie, fucking that's
that's more Tom Cruise money, but oof.
Yeah. 10 minutes, like that's
No,
like
that's
half
still
a
under
mil
his
for
salary.
5 minutes of your time. That's hey, if I charged half a mil for 5 minutes of my time, or like no, it was like $1 million for 5 minutes actually for Aquaman 2. So
I
because
wouldn't
she
even
was
do
paid
that.
$2
Like,
million.
fuck, man. Even just like 500K for that, like even less than that.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
200,000. That's what $200,000 a minute.
Mm.
Yeah,
No,
like,
10 minutes.
no one's worth
Two
that.
times, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
Remember
bad.
Johnny
I'd
Depp in the
happily
early days, he was
take-
getting
I'd-
paid peanuts to
I'd
do his
happily
movies,
take
like,
10
he
grand
was.
for an hour.
Yeah,
That's we'll
yeah.
we'll
Like,
try and make. We'll just go on Airtasker and just try and make that happen. Just randomly, like I will give you 10 minutes of my time for $10,000.
Yeah.
oh, about an hour for 10 grand.
Yeah. Hour for 10 grand.
Like,
See if someone actually pays it. Some rich Saudi. It's like
Hour of my
all the
time,
oil
I'll
in the
Just
world.
just someone to sit there with them.
film
maybe.
this scene, just
Yeah.
chat. Nah.
Yeah,
They-
something
they-
like
People
that.
want, man.
They
That's what people want
appears in
for.
Saudi Arabian advertisements. Just
Like a prince. Ah,
Well,
Fucking
there are
Aladdin,
websites
like-
where you can actually apply to be actors or voiceovers, so you do get paid. There's like you can be in a commercial or whatever else.
there's
So,
a reason
people
voice
pay.
actors
feel like
have that job for a long ass time.
what's
So
his
they
name?
get
Who
paid
played
peanuts.
it's like what's his name? Who played Shang-Chi.
Oh,
Where he was
the,
like he was just a stock film thing, and he got paid like
Yeah,
$100 for the day, and they did all these photo shoots.
Yeah.
And then and then now look at him now. He's
He's in,
Did you see that
Marvel film.
Shang-Chi end of that movie ties into She-Hulk?
Mm.
I'm like, that made sense now when they're seeing that chamber in the She-Hulk trailer.
Mm.
I'm like,
gonna be
Shang-Chi's in there? That's where one took him. I don't know.
A thing here as well. Another thing I had was Tom Cruise refused to allow Top Gun Maverick to debut on streaming services.
Because said here he makes movies for the big screen, which
That makes sense.
actually does because he is one of the biggest.
does make
like,
sense.
He's
box
always been a
office
big
sellers.
screen. Exactly. He's always been a big screen actor. Not for,
Also, he's against streaming, I think, because it's like
yeah.
he prefers.
I mean,
to-
you got
he prefers
about
like
to
going
say,
to a cinema. And,
Scientology just did make its own streaming platform.
hence why he didn't do it though.
they got their own streaming service.
Scientology has like its own streaming service. It's like a 24-hour like news, documentaries, all that kind of stuff.
That's pretty.
So it's
that's pretty
like
cool, though.
everything. If you ever wanted to earn anything about Scientology from
What's
their
that?
from their perspective,
They got it
you
hooked
do
up for brainwashing.
Yeah. Well, it's like they've got like shows like the Mighty Words from L. Ron Hubbard or something like that, or like meet a Scientologist. Like every episode, you meet a different type of Scientologist from everywhere around the world, from
There's a fuck
Australia
ton
to
of them, bro.
America.
I was gonna say,
And they're all successful Scientologists. Artists. Musicians. Blah blah blah.
There's a
So,
fuck ton. You won't
and
even know who they are.
It's actually their studio is in LA. They've got this old studio lot, and they've rejuvenated it to make it what it used to be, but they've updated a lot of things, like servers and all that kind of stuff. So, and they make a magazine on site, and they make the TV shows on site. They do interviews, they do whatever else. All Scientology. It's all, not to advertise, but yeah.
All Scientology, all the time.
All Scientology, all the time, 24 hours. But yeah, that's what I found out recently. That's they've released that. This wasn't recently, just this year. Has actually been the last couple.
So, would you recommend going on their set and drinking the water?
I don't know. It's I don't want to give my answer until after I've had my my test. What do they call it? Where you got to hold the two rods, and you got to do that. Sorry. Wait, no. Sorry.
We don't know if the water's going to turn the frogs gay.
Yeah. We don't know if the water's going to turn the frogs gay. I haven't been drinking, so I can't really get into this. But no. Have you ever heard of the test that you do for Scientology?
Rod test? You get two rods and you.
Yeah. You grab two rods.
How do they hold it? Is it like that, or is it like that?
Like this, like that. And then
they ask you to open your mouth, and you're like,
like that. On each side, you're gonna do it like that. Yeah, like that.
They say open your mouth, and then they say, can you turn left and can you turn right? So it's like,
Yeah.
But
just imagine Tom Cruise doing that.
Is ScoMo a Scientologist?
What? Yeah. But there's also a guy in the room.
Does he like to play the flute?
Yeah. It's just one rod. It's two rods that you gotta hold. I've got
that one Star Wars movie. That one Star Wars movie.
Was it? They have a machine. It's a machine. E-meter.
E-meter.
It's called an E-meter.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically it tests your electrical levels. Yeah. Whatever it's electrodynamic, whatever. Idiot. It's an E-meter. It's a freaking basically it tests your electronics that are in your body or whatever, some shit.
Midichlorians?
Yeah, midichlorians. We'll call it midichlorians. Except the Scientology midichlorians. So basically, it tests your electronic, how conductive your body is to receive Scientology. You got to do that. And then afterwards, to get up to the next level, you got to pay a large amount of money.
I'm imagining my body
you got to pay more money, and then you got to start making big blockbuster movies to pay for the next level up. Yeah. It's not like
Tom Cruise has made a bad movie, really, except for The Mummy.
No.
And you'll say
that's not his fault. That's the writers, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tom Cruise has still got it. He's fantastic.
Oh fuck yeah! Mission Impossible.
I can't knock the leader. I meant in Tom Cruise. So but Scientology, they're a funny bunch. It's it's a religion. Even though their leader L. Ron Hubbard has been quoted, the only way to make money these days is to create your own religion, and yet he did.
Well, this is one. What do you?
Well, yeah.
Beardy Bros. Yeah. The Church of the Beardy Bros.
Church of the Beardy
Bros.
Join
the Church of the Beardy Bros.
It's are we gonna have a special e-meter for the Beardy Bros to join members? Yeah. Do we have to hold special two rods and have our electronics in our body tested? No, we'd have to go like that. No,
it's gonna go like that.
We're gonna like that.
And you gotta say the magic words.
Off my pen.
It literally really can eat out of
there. But, yes. That is that's fair. This is random shit I'm just bringing up here.
Yeah.
If I was drunk and wasn't sick, I would be start talking about aliens and UFOs and stuff.
Alien. The Skinwalkers.
Skinwalker Ranch. I'm gonna start watching that documentary.
Definitely get into it. It's really good. I blame my dad for getting me into it.
Well, we could always do a special UFO conspiracy episode.
Oh, I'd love that.
We'll watch it. We'll watch a whole bunch of UFOs stuff.
I just love because
UFOs.
okay, so when it first started, there's this one guy that they
Figure
pulled
of
in
people.
for the series, and like he's like, what got me is though, it's like I'm very confused. So the guy that they got in for the show, he's an astrologist, right? He's like, he's like, oh, I'm an astrologist, but he doesn't believe in UFOs, or he didn't believe in UFOs. Like,
astrology doesn't mean UFOs.
No, but like you believe, you like reading the star stuff. It's like you're all about space, and you don't think UFOs are gonna be a thing.
Well,
like,
astrology is much older than the concept of UFOs. Astrology is using the alignment of the stars that determine, essentially what those.
But I mean, something though, exactly it. But like, I mean, to be in astrology, I feel like you're gonna have a passion for the stars and for the space and for the planet. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have a passion for.
Generally, it's in the same wheelhouse you're referring to, but astrology is much older. It's kind of it's kind of like, let's say,
I still say that you're gonna have a fascination of space.
Yeah. Fascination of space and UFOs. It's technically we've only been fascinated with it for the last 100 years. Because the concept of a UFO wasn't really like, put it this way, it hasn't like, only with sci-fi we've put down aliens and all that kind of stuff.
Which would have been like the 30s and
Before that, we always thought it was spiritual. We always thought,
that's
aliens
like zombies came about,
angels or something like that. Well, yeah, the concept of zombies have only been around for probably like what?
Zombies, vampires, werewolves, all just made up.
One thing I kind of want to talk about with this is ironically enough, is recently this week I've been seeing a few things pop up. Is that the U.S. Congress is looking into UFOs.
Yes. U.S. Congress, they have acknowledged that UFOs do exist, but saying that UFOs don't essentially mean aliens.
No, exactly. Well, I mean, that's
UFOs
the thing
can be classified as an object that has been not identified.
Space that's floats around,
which could be either a drone from another government or any other, anything that just hasn't been recognized that has been floating.
And that's what gets me the biggest thing is when people say they don't believe in UFOs, and it's like, so you would. My argument for them is then going, so that thing that's flying in the sky, you know exactly what that is. It's like, you know that is flying. It's like it's like
yeah.
It's like,
if you don't recognize a plane, technically it's an unidentified.
It's a UFO. It's a UFO.
Object. Yeah, exactly. So that you can still believe in UFOs, but not believe in aliens.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I always find it funny with some
stuff. They're trying to separate the two.
I mean,
that's
aliens
essentially
are out
what
there,
the US government is doing. So they're recognizing.
Look at the other damn planets. There's something on them.
It's gotta be. That's exactly it.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people think, like, the military is thinking, like, hey, look, it doesn't have to be alien. They don't want to be like, oh, it's aliens instantly.
I mean, it's not aliens as we see them in movies.
Aliens.
Well, yeah. But they still want to be in the wheelhouse of recognizing that these items,
there's organic life forms on other planets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, but they still want to recognize that these objects still exist. Whether it be, as I said, a drone of some type, a device, and any object that's flying around that has not been officially identified. But that's the same thing. Technically, UFOs have always been around.
Can be a satellite, can be a rocket.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's
so technically, to every child, there's a lot of UFOs that you got to think about. If you're a kid, there's a lot of things UFO.
Fucking meteors or falling stars UFOs. Like, look at the UFO. It's a fucking star, you prick.
What's a UAP? Yeah, that's what they named. That's what we got the term for the UAP now, because UAP is unidentified aerial projectile.
Yeah, if you didn't know what a bird was, technically it's an unidentified flying object.
Yep.
Kids do that too.
That's why it does. That's why I said. That's why it needs to be. Those two things need to be separated.
UFOs traditionally in movies and shit are just a big fucking dish.
That's why
Oh
people.
yeah.
I
it could
think
be a
that's the
frisbee
thing.
flying through the air.
People, a lot of the problem is people associate UFOs with saucers, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like
That's because of movies
UFOs
and pop culture.
means
Or
unidentified flying
tic-tac
object.
type
But like say,
objects.
yeah, but like they need to like get to used to associate that UFOs doesn't mean UFOs like saucers and aliens. And like I mean I believe in aliens, but like that's one thing that irks me the
Sources
most.
don't exist. How's that?
Like that's the thing. Like that's the thing that irks me the most is when
Unless
people
someone touched
assume
the saucer.
UFOs, they think of aliens. Like if you don't want to believe in aliens, that's fine. But a UFO is a UFO. Like you can't not. Like yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
You could technically be a UFO because you can go flying through the air and no one knows who the fuck you are.
Exactly. Superman's
UFO.
a UFO.
Yeah.
Superman was a
Or
UFO
balloon,
until they realized.
or weather balloon.
Yeah.
Which is, the classic Roswell. It was a weather balloon, but that's the thing. A lot of the supposed like artifacts, you could say, of like old drawings back in the day of flying unidentified flying objects, whether it be like the famous Tic Tac, or the saucer, or a ball of light, and many of those things could be explained as being, it could be an asteroid at the time, it could have been,
Light does
a
some weird
meteorite
shit in the air, man.
yeah, it could have been a bird, who knows? But that's why I understand the US government at the moment is trying to make people realize that these two things are separate. You can't just say unidentified flying object, aliens. You can't put them in the
Have
same.
you noticed they're all black and white? Nothing is in color. So
Yeah. Well, but also it gives them deniability. They literally people just don't want people to instantly jump up and down and say it must be aliens, because drone
if there are
technology
aliens, we would have seen one by now.
Well, not just that. Drone technology has advanced so much now that it's guaranteed that
we get to UFOs and aliens.
it's guaranteed that a lot of the drones that may have been seen or flying objects may actually be military drones. So,
Yeah.
but I was a huge UFOologist, fan, UFO fan back in the day.
Wait, what is that?
Well,
That's a UFO.
UFO, yeah, exactly.
It's a UFO.
But
that's a UFO.
Like, for example, I would have loved to be at Area 51 for the, remember the jump the fence UFO event that happened a few years ago?
Oh, the raid.
That?
The Area 51 raid where everyone just stood around and nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Those videos were fantastic. It was hilarious. Because you could have just gotten some guy in a big, truck to a bull bar, rammed the fence, and just kept on driving. Because it would have been fantastic. Because I loved all the memes for it. But, Area 51, Bob Lazar, all that kind of stuff. I was a huge fan of that back in the day.
Yeah.
Like reading, like all these crackpot stories about teleportation, anti-gravity devices, aliens, different types of aliens, lizard people.
What's that? The raid?
7 people got arrested. That's it.
Yeah, that was the only people that went past it and they didn't realize they went past it.
Participants 150.
Yeah, it was very small turnout. It should have just been 51.
Yeah.
No, there was fucking muted myself. There was 1,500 festivals as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of promise festival. There was apparently one successful but semi-successful.
Yeah, but someone said they stormed it and it was weirder than I imagined. I'm like, it's just a desert.
Oh, it is. They won't reach if they went past where that gate was. There's multiple entrances in the Area 51.
Just a military base. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's a military base, but even though you get past the gate, you've still got miles and miles and miles of desert before you even get there. By the time that happens, you've already.
I'm pretty sure they got big vaulted fucking doors and key
codes.
codes.
It'd be like friggin' Goku running Snake Run,
just
pretty much. Except you don't get fucking commercial breaks.
Yeah. So it's unrealistic that they did it. Plus, there was like Area 52.
I mean, people probably got in there, but fucking,
Yeah.
they probably died.
There was Groom Lake as well. That was close by. They could have just done that one.
That's just a military site. Nothing happens there. Like
Exactly.
Well, it's a testing.
if you hear
Testing.
if you hear an explosion, they're testing bombs, weapons, fucking. That's it. Like it's
Yeah, exactly. And because
Rocket
the
Iron
amount
Man,
of
how you got that fucking
exposure-
desert area.
Yeah.
The big explosions they put there. Like that's
Yeah.
all it is.
Exactly.
Well,
that's why I don't like people coming there, because there's a chance that you could be
Yeah,
caught in the crossfire.
blown up.
Yeah,
Shrapnel.
Like
blown
any
up.
military base,
Yeah.
it's like testing fire areas. You don't know where a bullet's going to fly. Like,
There's plenty of other facilities as well that have a lot of mysterious, lore behind it. You could say, or at least,
If we had aliens here, that we
well,
could not
Australia-
contain them.
well, Australia actually has a military base, which is in the middle of Australia, which is
No one lives there.
Uluru. Pine Gap, I believe the name of it is, and it's a base that's in the middle of Australia. It's actually run by Americans, so the CIA, NSA, all that kind of stuff. It's in the middle of Australia. It's basically it's about 18 kilometers southwest of Alice Springs, middle of nowhere. It's got like radar dish, like giant radar dishes.
I don't know where, because people live in Alice Springs.
So, but the theory, the conspiracy behind that one though, is that apparently Pine Gap is not just run by the U.S. government. Well, that's true. They are. It's a top facility for the U.S.
Well,
government.
there's more there.
But the theory behind it is Pine Gap is a facility that is also a weather machine.
Yep.
So that's the theory behind it, that it's actually
the one to
But
blame
weather
for
things are all around the world, though. Like
but
just in different places.
there's a few other places like that they say it's
If they see
weather machines and
they do the water seeding, so it can, if there's droughts, they can make it rain and shit.
That's
like
what basically that's what the whole weather system is. Like, they're trying to do is that reason is to try and produce rain for drought, so that we don't have too much drought, and to stop flooding, so they can try and bring it back. Like, that's what they're trying to create, so then we can have a control of
because
infrastructure.
take the water from the ocean,
I was about to say,
make it rain.
I think they're doing their job too well, because Brisbane's been under
they got a bit too carried away
twice in the last 10 years.
Yeah, but that's also human done. Like that, they're not doing nothing to prevent that.
Yeah.
Same as New South Wales.
Mm.
Like,
But
you don't see Victoria flooding, do you? Or here, or
Yeah.
Perth, or like fucking. It's just the fucking east.
Exactly. Have you got anything else there, Jim?
I got a whole fucking page, bro.
Oh, bro.
Bruh.
I'm not a whole page, man. I do, but just a few things. I got you remember that Marvel Midnight Suns game that got revealed a couple years ago?
Oh,
Or last year?
Yeah.
That could be out soon. It just got rated in South Korea.
Nice.
Not bad.
That could be out sometime in the next month or
Couple of months.
several months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks promising and interesting, because the character that you play in that the main protagonist is actually completely new IP.
Oh, nice.
Oh fuck yeah! Don't you create your character? Like
No. The character is completely, from what I can.
the lady.
No,
I think, isn't it?
the lady. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
completely new IP, not in any
I think
comics.
he plays
or
all
anything.
of them though. Like to take down that another lady. Like he plays all of them because it's a turn-based.
Yeah. You play as all of them, but that female character
It's all new.
is completely new IP created just for that game.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she might come live action if it's a.
If it's
they might do a crossover mention or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's from the XCOM developers. People, I was looking at the YouTube comments. People are like, "Oh, this game's coming out soon," and it's like, I was excited until I saw the gameplay.
Yeah.
It's just
It's XCOM. XCOM's amazing. Just fucking play the fucking thing. Like, if you're excited, play it.
Yeah, exactly. Still play it.
Like, it's still gonna be good. You got Ghost Rider, Blade,
People get very weird
Wolverine.
with turn-based games. People don't like. It's like, okay.
They got some of the best gameplay though. Like when you think about it, like it's so.
They're nicely
tightly
paced.
done
They're nicely
because you
paced.
cannot fuck that up.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that got rated. This is a Star Wars thing, but Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie could be the next released one.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I heard that a few months ago. Yeah.
The lady at Lucasfilms, Kathleen
Kathleen Kennedy.
said that could be the next one coming out in theaters. So
Yep.
that's pretty fucking cool.
Because I remember
Yeah,
at
that
first when he was
Finally,
doing
a successful Star Wars movie for.
Well, I was
like
gonna say, because I
7 years.
remember when he was first doing the project, it was his own like project that was like a Star Wars film. Like it wasn't actual like.
Well, it is.
Now it is, yeah, that's the thing, because it got so much traction behind it. Like, because that's what he'd been aiming at doing was his own kind of Star Wars film, and then now it's actually become a Star Wars film.
And better than what was recent.
Like,
by the sound of it,
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
None of the original characters though, which is good.
No,
it's their
it's
own. It's his own.
It's a new,
take
yeah,
on thing on.
Yeah.
Which what it needed.
exactly, new story arc. Get away from the whole Anakin,
I mean, I'll
the
get over
Skywalker
Ray in
saga.
that, but they fucked that character up.
It was still too much stuck on the Skywalker saga. Like, let's just move on. And,
That ended after the first 6. Also, I said that Johnny Depp could return to because Bruckheimer said it, so I guess it's true.
yep.
Adult Swim is making a 10-episode Rick and Morty anime.
Like
It's
actual
got its own
anime,
story.
like anime style.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Rick and Morty anime, bruh.
I guess it's maybe where the narrative's going. It'd be like a new reality, like a different.
Well, it's not Justin Roiland, I don't think. He's not involved.
Oh,
He'd have
okay.
to be. He's the voice actor.
I don't know, but I mean, maybe he is, but it's a whole new story. Like,
I'd say
completely new.
there's always reason with Rick and Morty when they have like everything has a cause and effect, and I say this is going to be mostly because we
But
have
Adult
seen.
Swim.
Yeah, it's already is Adult Swim.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But 10-episode anime, like
Yeah, so it must
it's
be a
already an
different.
anime. It's already anime, really.
It's
Think
cartoon.
about it.
Anime is in that style, so if it's going in
Yeah.
that style, then it's going to be different. So I'd say we're going in a different reality, maybe a different
That'd be
C whatever universe he's from,
Oh, we already talked about that.
because we follow C137.
And on another show, I showed Daz this yesterday, but Velma's getting her own series,
Yeah, that's
and
insane.
it looks dark, like fucking dark.
Looks savage.
Uh,
Like that dark?
Dark as Wookie, right? Oh, okay, he's back.
Yeah.
But
looks
I mean,
insane.
that comes out at some point. NSFW Velma, that's what I read on it. So.
I mean, when you think of NSFW, people
Well,
are going
I've
to
seen
think of...
an NSFW.
Yeah, you gotta make. You can't just say
but-
NSFW. You can't just say
Yeah,
NSFW
no,
with
The
Velma.
article
That's
said,
something
so.
on Pornhub
Nah,
there,
bro.
buddy.
That's NSFW.
Yeah. I'd
Wait,
still
no,
Bro,
watch it.
someone
Um,
having their head cut
Probably
open
have
with brains
watched it.
out. I mean, that's not really
Not for
NSFW.
work.
That's just violent. NSFW people are thinking like.
I know, but that's a broad term, NSFW.
I
That's
mean,
anything that you shouldn't be watching.
usually,
outright, so.
but I mean, in this day and age, it's kind
Yeah,
of
well, this
changed.
day
I
and
know.
age, you could probably. I've watched some things at work.
That
But
are
yeah,
not
that's coming
safe
out
for work, but
eventually. Whatever the fuck that's coming, I don't know.
Hmm.
Also, we got The Witcher 3 next gen news recently.
Oh, yeah.
Done last week. CD Projekt Red put up a post on everything that the
I'd
next
say.
gen release is set for Q4 2022.
I guess at the
So
end of the year.
brought it forward. It meant to be delayed to
Oh,
next
yeah.
year, but then they forward. I'm guessing it's pretty much done.
I guess they're trying to get that sorted, and then they can start.
They would have to run at a fucking high frame rate, surely. Like, fuck
Hmm.
me, it's a whole
Yeah.
new release. Like, apparently it's got all the DLC with it as well, so
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about that.
Makes
That's a whole
sense.
bundle. But that's pretty cool. I haven't finished it, so it'd be nice to play it again.
Hmm.
This is one I thought was cool. Margot Robbie is making an Ocean's 11 prequel. I mean,
I also
we
heard
don't think
Margot
we need
Robbie
it.
was working on a
Barbie.
reboot for Caribbean Pirates of the Caribbean as
Hmm.
well. So
Did she
there's
do
a
the
lot
Barbie film as well?
Yeah, which
Of,
she's not called Barbie in that, is she? Like, apparently they can't use the Barbie name. No, the Aqua song. That's what
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
the song. Yeah.
They can't use the Aqua song.
Sorry,
Which, they kind of need that for that movie.
why can't they get
Like,
that license to the thing?
I guess they can't, like, unless it's
Oh, no.
owned by someone who's like, nope,
So she's a bit trending then at the moment with different movies she's got coming.
she's doing everything, man.
Why are we getting a weird
Um,
reboot? Like,
But that's all I've got. Like, I thought those were all interesting things, but they kind of are.
Hmm.
But I mean, Witcher, who expected that? Like, fuck. Everyone's keen.
The Witcher 3 is one of the better,
One of the best
most-
games ever, man. Like, it's just well done. Like, I remember playing that on launch, and I was impressed. Like, I'd smashed it for ages. Went to hospital, didn't touch it again. I got near the end, but I didn't. My whole save got deleted somehow.
Bruh.
I'm not doing the whole fucking. That game is long,
Bruh.
Bruh.
and I couldn't be bothered doing it. But
Why?
so we get next gen. Well, it's current gen version now.
Yeah.
Fuck. I gotta stop saying next gen.
I know, it's technically just
This
Gen.
is current gen now. Like
It's just
PS4
gen.
now, it's last gen.
It's just Gen.
Coming out for gen. Like what? For gents? Like fuck.
Gen.
Or Jennifer, Jenny. Like coming out for
Jen.
Jen. Like I know Jenny.
Gen A.
But I mean, I would have had a lot more, but
I think that's, yeah.
lucky I didn't because that would have went whoop.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna go in depth on most of these because I don't know, but that's pretty damn cool.
There's not much really to go in depth on
We already
some of those.
spoke about the Tom Cruise stuff. I had all that written
Yeah,
down.
yeah, exactly. We've already gotten into that, so that's alright. I think that's.
No, but still, he's not wrong though. He does make big fucking
Oh,
movies for theaters and shit.
And it makes sense. Like if that's all he's done through his career is made films for,
Big screen.
theaters, big screen film.
He's probably done a couple straight to DVDs, but probably not much.
Yeah.
No, probably not. 'Cause even the Mummy was in theaters.
Mm.
I mean, have you seen that? Is it actually that bad,
I
or is it
haven't
just
watched it.
an average movie?
I still haven't watched it to this day.
It's got oh god, who else in it? You know, Australian actor Russell Crowe.
Oh,
He's in
that's
it.
not too bad.
He plays Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh, that's
Okay.
fucking cool.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it was meant to be the setup for that whole Monster Universe film.
Yeah. So it was not bad.
That'd be
but, you
interesting.
know,
Because the
it's-
director or writer said that was the worst movie that they ever done.
And
yeah, I
shut
said
down
it
the whole
wasn't
franchise.
bad, but I said it wasn't. Didn't say it was good.
I mean, it was,
A lot of the backlash from behind it though was because it was kind of like a reboot and sense
yeah.
on the Brendan
Yeah,
Fraser,
yeah.
and
it
everyone was
should
like,
have
"What the fuck are you doing?"
continued instead of reboot.
I mean, it would have been cool
It's-
if we had Brendan Fraser do that whole Mummy universe, like with the crossover with the thing. We'd have Brendan Fraser like he's fought
Have you seen
mummies
him
now. It's
lately?
like, hey, yeah, he's alright.
That dude's fucking cuckoo. He went crazy. That's why he didn't act.
What?
Brendan
He went
Fraser.
real fucking crazy. Yeah. Did you hear
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it?
yeah. He suffers from depression and anxiety.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he just lost it and
Yeah.
he just did his own thing.
Yeah, because there was a lot of things that happened. He was like,
Mm.
there was a lot
Well,
of
he
things
was
that
like
happened.
Hollywood's #1 in the early 2000s.
He's
Like,
making
he
a
was
comeback.
everything.
He's making a comeback. So
Yeah.
people
Well,
want
he's
him back.
like one of the nicest guys in Hollywood, apparently, along
Yeah.
with like Tom Hanks and.
Till he went
you know.
crazy.
No, he
and
didn't
then
go
just-
crazy.
No, he didn't went crazy. He
I
just,
think he did.
No, he got like
You know.
Not-
sexually
Not
assaulted
like
and
Jim
stuff.
Carrey crazy, but
It was like I think it was like sexual assault claims. Like he had
Yeah.
people that
Oh,
sexually
damn.
assaulted him and stuff like that, and he just
yeah, that.
yeah,
I think that's what set it off, really.
he didn't really go crazy. He
Good
just was like,
going.
"No, I'm done with it," because he had the sexual image
Hmm.
and stuff, and it was like being, and all that stuff. He was just a simple man. Shit
I
went
mean, I
crazy.
hope he comes back to do like mummy stuff and.
But that's what I mean. That's why I think where a lot of it shut down was because.
well,
of
he's
that.
been doing Doom Patrol
Yeah.
last
Oh,
couple
yeah,
of
yeah.
years. He's fantastic in that.
I mean, he's been doing like the last few years, been doing those little movies, like doing little parts in things, TV shows, movies.
Yeah. He's slowly coming back. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't
Yeah.
reckon he'll be back as what he was, but
Most probably not. As yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind another George of the Jungle. He's a bit old for that now, I think.
Yeah. That's a bit too far gone now.
Maybe if he did it over like where he has a son and they do Son of George of the Jungle or whatever.
He'd have to
Maybe I don't know.
He'd have to get back to his physique he used to have for that, I think, to do more George of the Jungle. He's not really that small
No.
anymore. He's a big boy now.
Hmm.
Is that all we?
I think we're
for
done there.
tonight?
Yeah. We're going
Yeah.
off.
I could find more, but
No,
nah.
no. I think it's time to wrap it up. We don't want to be as long as a friggin' Stranger Things episode.
Yeah.
We already are.
Yeah. Maybe. Go on, Jim.
That's it.
Yes. Fuck. When you say that, my brain just goes, But yes, on that, we'll stop wasting any more of your precious time. But thank you, beaters and beatettes, for joining us on episode 21. We have been Jim Dow and Wookie. And I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
I
Like, guys, I'm only using 0.001% of my true power.
Power. Power.
Zoinks!
Zoinks.
zoinks.
Oh, fuck that. You gotta get that right crack. Zoinks.